Gabriel Yuri appears in Marie Joy's. Marie Joy has been attacked like never before. Marie Joy is destroyed. The four emperors Gabriel Yuri attacked Marie Joy's, claiming it was revenge for the kidnapping of Nico Robin by World Government Marine. Gabriel Yuri only used one trick: planetary devastation in Marie Joy's, which sucked the entire Marie Joy's into the sky. It is said that Marie Joy's once appeared in the sky of a huge stone ball like the moon. Gabriel Yuri appeared in Marie Joy's. No one could stand in front of him. In front of the Magneto throne, hockey skyrocketed. Marie Joy has happened such a big thing, an unprecedented huge dynamic, and it is still related to world government and four emperors Yuri. Even if the world government has already greeted this matter, it is not allowed to report this incident, but the newspapers still reported the incident the next day. This report immediately caused a worldwide sensation. "That guy is not so easy to die," Kaido said with a sneer, looking at the newspaper. "Not only I'm not dead, but my strength is even more terrifying." He looked at the newspaper carefully and said. "Huh?" Kaido listened to Chi's words and looked at Kai with interest. "No, the strength of this guy has improved again. Jin, you guys can't talk nonsense, right? How long has this passed? Last time, he was seriously injured and was pierced by a sword." "Alright," Quinn said. Calmly, in the first battle at Marin Fendo, Gabriel Yuri showed terrifying combat power, but with some reluctance and tricks. After all, he wanted to face the power of naval headquarters alone, but this time unprecedented calmness, and did not use Skywrath, just a move of planetary devastation, making the world government tired to deal with. "This all shows that Gabriel Yuri's strength has become stronger," Kai said. "That's really true. That guy used to pursue victory with one move. He never did anything that wasted physical strength. So his attacking moves were deadly. Before. Bastard, it's really hockey." Quinn looked at a photo in the newspaper, and saw Yuri walking forward in the photo. A large number of world government personnel on the ground were crushed on the ground, and I didn't know the people of the news agency. "How did you get this photo?" "That guy just got stronger physically, but it is really troublesome to fight with that guy," Kaido said. "Boss Kaido, can't we be overwhelmed by the Gabriel pirates like this?" Quinn said. "Who do you think I am?" Kaido said to Quinn coldly. The cold sweat that Quinn was seeing by Kaido came out. "But Boss Kaido, if we go to war with Gabriel Yuri at will, we will also have a lot of trouble," Jin said. "Don't worry, it's not just that we felt the pressure of Gabriel Yuri's move, Linlin, we should talk about Kaido thoughtfully. The Emperor Magneto didn't even die, and he killed Marie Joy's. I just said, how could such a monster die so easily? Unexpectedly, Marie Joy's was destroyed like this. That is the Holy Land Marie Joy's, where the celestial dragons live. Gabriel Yuri is really terrifying. Isn't there even the world government can do nothing about him? Who can deal with such a monster?" "Shush, quietly, don't speak. That's a monster that can destroy the entire Marin Fender in one blow. If he hears it, he will cast Sky Wrath here once, and all of us will be buried with you." Immediately everything was in the cold, and I didn't dare to say anything anymore. People all over the world are showing fear when they know that Yuri is not dead. How can you not be afraid? That is an existence that can wipe Malin Fender off the map with one blow. How strong the monsters of New World are, they don't have a clear understanding. But how strong and terrifying Yuri is, through the earlier video, and Marineford, who has disappeared from the world forever, we can clearly recognize. How can such a monster that can easily destroy the entire island exist without fear? If you accidentally provoke him, the anger will come down, and you won't wipe everyone out. Some people even feel that Yuri is too dangerous. Such a monster is best to die. Otherwise, on that day, Yuri went mad and wrathed and destroyed the entire world. What should I do? Just when the whole world was panicking, another shocking big news appeared. Gabriel Yuri appeared in Sabodi Archipelago. He called the news reporters, said there was something to be announced. Sabodi Archipelago is a world-famous tourist island. It is also the resort of celestial dragons. It is also the last stop for pirates to enter the New World. So there are news happening here every day, and news agencies from all over the world send reporters to station here. How could Lord Gabriel suddenly appear in Sabodi Archipelago? I heard that the Emperor has something to announce. I don't know what. What can Emperor Gabriel announce so solemnly? Isn't it about going to war with World Government Marine? Or maybe it is preparing to announce the destruction of the islands. Because of what Yuri posted on Sabodi Archipelago, the reporters all gathered. They were talking about what they were waiting for. At this moment, everyone suddenly fell silent. Only saw one person slowly appear in front of them. Seeing that this person quieted down all the moments, watching the people coming, everyone swallowed, and there was a trace of fear in their eyes. This person in front of you is a monster that can destroy naval headquarters Malin Fendo with one blow. If the opponent is dissatisfied, and the sky is angry, the entire Saboti archipelago will also be destroyed. Standing beside such a monster that could destroy the entire Saboti land at any time, how could everyone not feel fear? When Yuri approached, many people even started to tremble in their legs. Some people want to retreat even more, have an urge to run away. It seems that everyone is afraid of me. Are you all afraid of this? Yuri looked at everyone and smiled, then folded his palms together, and when both palms opened, a slowly rotating planet appeared between Yuri's palms. Seeing this slowly turning, like a planet-like energy body, everyone's expressions were pale and shocked. Skywrath. It is the fission of the two poles, Skywrath. It's Skywrath. It's the Skywrath that destroyed Malin Fendo. When this planet-like energy body appeared between Yuri's palms, someone in the crowd immediately exclaimed. Some people were directly frightened and paralyzed on the ground. It's over. This is over. Gabriel Yuri is here to perform Skywrath. Is it to destroy Saboti archipelago? If the anger explodes this day, the entire Saboti archipelago will be wiped from the sea. Once the anger explodes this day, no one on the entire island can survive? How come? Saboti archipelago is the resort area of celestial dragons. There are many celestial dragons here. If this is destroyed, even celestial dragons will be destroyed together. Isn't he afraid of the world government? He even dared to break through and destroy Marie Joyce. Is there still fear of the world government? Why? Why did Gabriel Yuri shoot Saboti archipelago? Could someone on the island provoke him? It's dead now. Everyone looked at the anger between Yuri's palms in horror and said. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. I am not here to kill or destroy Saboti archipelago today. But some time ago some people said that I was seriously injured and dying. And some people said that I was seriously injured and my strength fell sharply. Some people even say that I am dead. So I am here today to let everyone know that I am not dead and I can still use Skywrath. Yuri handed Skywrath to the reporters. Although Yuri said it was not here to kill, not to destroy Saboti archipelago. But Skywrath, which can instantly destroy the entire Saboti archipelago, is next to them, a few meters away from them. How can they not be afraid? All the reporters retreated in shock, and cold sweat continued to flow from their bodies. Tell everyone that you are alive. There is no need at all. You are so troubled on Marie Joyce. Who else in the world doesn't know that you are still alive? Tell everyone that you can use Skywrath. What's more, there is no need. Just relying on your daring to break into Marie Joyce alone, and performance on Marie Joyce, who would doubt your strength? Everyone looked at the Skywrath in Yuri's hand in horror. Lord Gabriel, can I take the liberty to ask, can I put away my anger this day? We are very scared like you. At this time, a reporter asked nervously and tremblingly. Take it away? What do you think? This is the power that can easily destroy an island. The only way you want him to disappear is to make him explode, Yuri said lightly. Hearing Yuri's words, everyone was even more frightened. Exploded? Here? God, are we going to die here today? Didn't he say that he didn't come to destroy Saboti archipelago? Didn't he just want us? Seeing the horrified look of everyone around, Yuri smiled faintly. Then Yuri raised his hand and everyone swallowed. As soon as the next guest Yuri pressed hard, the Skywrath of his hand broke away from Yuri's palm, and flew towards the sky at great speed. The eyes of everyone looked towards the sky with the anger of the sky. But Skywrath quickly disappeared from everyone's sight, because in a blink of an eye, Skywrath had been thrown into the sky above 10,000 meters. But soon everyone saw Skywrath again. Boom, boom, boom. The sky's shining sun and terrifying ability continued to explode, shining brightly. For a while, its light covered the sun. Just when everyone was shocked by the explosion, a wave of terrifying shockwaves fell from the sky. Even at a distance of more than 10,000 meters, the shock wave formed by the aftermath of the explosion of Skywrath still impacts the entire Saboti archipelago like a hurricane. Suddenly, the entire Saboti site was constantly exclaimed. Many people were blown to each other, and even a lot of building glass broke or even collapsed because of the strong wind. Some people who were barely standing still looked at the sky dumbfounded, unable to speak for a long time. Many reporters suddenly recovered, picked up the videophone worm, camera phone worm, and shot wildly at the sky. The explosion in the sky lasted for a long time before it stopped. After the explosion stopped completely, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. But looking at Saboti archipelago again, the entire Saboti area was completely unrecognizable, as if it had been struck by a 12th typhoon, and it was a mess. Seeing this situation, everyone once again showed a look of horror, and kept shooting wildly at Saboti archipelago with their cameras. This is big news. For a long time, I think everyone should know now, I can still do it when I use Skywrath, Yuri said lightly. After hearing Yuri's words, the reporters all looked towards Yuri. what they want to ask, but they dare not ask more. Skywrath is a kind of gravitational and repulsive force that constantly produces fission explosions. His destructive power can easily destroy an island, enough to completely erase all the characters on the island. Malin Fender's Skywrath, it's just 1/10 of the power of true Skywrath, Yuri said. Erasing Malin Fenduo's Skywrath, there is only 1/10 of the real Skywrath? How is it possible? How terrifying is the real Skywrath? Is that the real Skywrath just now? It's horrible. The aftermath of the explosion from such a high distance is still like a level 12 typhoon. If it explodes on the Saboti archipelago. Fox. The reporter said in shock, thinking of the Skywrath just now, it was 10 times more powerful than Ma Linshu for a long time. Once it exploded in Saboti archipelago, what would it end up with? Everyone immediately broke out in cold sweat again. Today, I am convening a press conference for you at Saboti archipelago. In addition to telling the world that Gabriel Yuri is not dead and that I can still perform Skywrath, I also need to tell everyone that I am actually a peace lover, and Skywrath is too powerful. The killing is too heavy, so I will list it as a taboo weapon. Angrily, 1,000,000 dead bodies. Yuri. When the news came out the next day, everyone opened their mouths in surprise. Gabriel Yuri said he is a peace lover? Everyone is stunned. Well, as long as you don't use Skywrath, I will believe it. As long as you don't use Skywrath, I believe you say that you are a saint. As long as you don't use Skywrath, everything can be discussed. As soon as the news came out, the atmosphere of the entire sea immediately changed, especially New World. Kaido and Big Mom, 2 people who were just discussing plans to join forces, saw this news come out, and there was nothing to cooperate. Both of them are the emperors of New World, and they are one of the best in speaking. If they are not a last resort, they will never join hands. Under the threat of Yuri's anger, the two had the idea of joining forces. But now Yuri announced that he would list Skywrath as a taboo weapon and would not use it easily, and the two had no plans to join forces anymore. What's more, even if they join forces, they may not be able to resist the terrible Sky anger. It's better not to irritate Gabriel Yuri now, so when this news came out, the two of them seemed to have a heart-to-heart, no one mentioned anything about joining together. At the same time, all New World countries' actions against the Gabriel dynasty, explicitly or implicitly, also stopped. Some time ago, the reason why the countries of the New World, from the royal family to the merchants, all explicitly or secretly targeted the Gabriel dynasty? In addition to the provocation of the world government, the pirates of the dynasty of Gabriel and Yuri's wrath are also a major cause. They are afraid of Giadi dynasty Lai, and they are afraid that they will be overthrown by Giadi dynasty Lai like the kingdom of Garu overnight. They are even more afraid that Yuri will come to them and release a Skywrath to destroy them directly. So they secretly targeted the Gabriel dynasty, secretly suppressed the Gabriel dynasty, tested the bottom line of the Gabriel dynasty, and assisted the world government to test whether Yuri was really seriously injured. When Yuri appeared in Marie Joy's and destroyed Marie Joy's in one fell swoop, all suppression and targeting disappeared. However, the countries have not repaired their relations with the Gabriel dynasty. Regarding the Canadian Emperor Chao Lai, they stayed away. However, after knowing that Yuri announced that Skywrath was a taboo weapon, and promised not to use Skywrath unless necessary, the attitude of various countries towards the Gabriel dynasty changed greatly. Began to be willing to interact with the Gabriel dynasty. When they saw that Yuri was able to make such a promise, at least they were willing to be reasonable, at least not as they thought. They would use the power that extinct together like Skywrath at will. In fact, Tianwu was listed as a taboo weapon. Yuri had this idea from the very beginning, and it was also thoughtful by Yuri. The power of Skywrath is too strong, it will destroy the entire island, destroy the entire kingdom. Yuri is not a bloodthirsty demon, so he really doesn't want to use this kind of annihilating attack. And if Yuri relies too much on Skywrath and uses Skywrath for his movements, then it won't be long before this world's few land islands will be destroyed by him. At that time, I am afraid that I will become a demon that the whole world shouts and kills, and even stands on the opposite side of the whole world. He didn't want to destroy the world, so this trick must be banned. In the past, the strength was not enough, and it was necessary to use Skywrath to deter. Now through the Boeing Islands training, the strength can be greatly improved, and there is no need to use such nuclear bomb attacks. What's more, strategic weapons have the most deterrent effect only before they are fired. And even if he lists Skywrath as a taboo weapon and promises not to use it indiscriminately, Skywrath will still be a sharp weapon hanging above their heads. A weapon that even New World 4 emperors like Kaido will be afraid of. All those who want to take action against the Gabriel dynasty must carefully weigh whether he can withstand the anger of the sky. After leaving Saboti archipelago, Yuri returned to Boeing Islands. Upon returning to Boeing Islands, Bonus and the others appeared in front of Yuri with a strange creature. Hee, Captain, this is what we found on other barons of stomach. In order to catch his potential camp, many people were injured. Later, Brian shot and caught him. Bonus said with a smile. Yuri took a look. Isn't this Hercules? The so-called Boeing Islands is not just a baron of the stomach, but an archipelago composed of several barons of the stomach. Yuri didn't find Hercules on the baron of stomach, and thought he hadn't been on the Boeing Islands yet. It turned out to be on another baron of stomach. You bastard pirates, broke into my island for no reason, and shot me for no reason. If it weren't for that kind of weird ability, I wouldn't be caught by you. Hurry up and let me go, otherwise, don't blame Hercules. You are welcome, Uncle C, Hercules said. It turned out that the Gabriel pirates came with a large number of people, and the Baron of the Stomach was gradually not enough for them to use. After all, the Baron of Stomach is a kind of plant. The food in the Temptation Forest is grown by the Baron of Stomach. It cannot be endless. There are so many people in the Gabriel pirates. There are hundreds of people in Qianlong camp. Naturally, a Baron of Stomach is not enough for them. In order not to delay Yuri's training, they decided to disperse Qianlong camp to the Baron of Stomach. It was at this time that they found Hercules on one of the barons of the stomach. After the Gabriel pirates discovered the Boeing Islands, they regarded it as a training base for the Gabriel pirates and a forbidden area for the Gabriel pirates. Naturally, no others were allowed to exist, so the battle started without talking. Although the members of the Qianlong group have been trained by the Gabriel pirates for more than half a year, they naturally cannot be Hercules' opponents. Fortunately, Hercules didn't kill her, otherwise many people would have died in Hercules' hands. These quickly shocked Brian, who led the team. Hercules was good, but there was Brian's opponent. A ding-ding fruit passed, and Hercules was fixed there and was obediently captured by the members of the Qianlong group. Because Hercules didn't kill the people in the potential camp, Brian and the others didn't kill him, but just grabbed it and let Yuri deal with it. Why are you welcome? Yuri said lightly. A terrifying spirit exudes from Yuri's body while speaking, and at the same time, a terrifying weight presses on Hercules, directly pressing Hercules to the ground. Hagrid, struggling to raise his head, looked at Yuri with extremely shocked eyes and said, "A monster? Captain, what do you want to do with him?" Bonus asked. I think you are familiar with the Baron of Stomach, so let you lead my Qianlongying disciples to train for 3 years, and be a bodyguard for them, and give you freedom after 3 years. You can be willing. Yuri looked at Hercules and asked. Yes, said Hercules. He could see that the strength of these people in front of him was definitely above him. Especially the guy called the captain in front of him was definitely a monster. Facing such a monster, he has no power to resist at all, and the horrible pressure made it difficult for him to stand up, let alone resist. And Yuri just let him be the bodyguard of these little ghosts for 3 years, and didn't say for a lifetime, so Hercules agreed. With Hercules and Bonus, they will also be watching. Yuri is safe enough to train. In the past 2 years, in a blink of an eye, on this day, suddenly thunder and lightning flashed wildly in the sky. As if Thor was angry, he kept releasing thunder and lightning. Yuri also looked up at the sky. It seems that something interesting has happened in the sky. It is able to release such a powerful lightning. Could it be that he was born? Thunder fruit, I am interesting to see. Yuri said. After speaking, Yuri flashed towards the sky full of lightning. Yeah, haha, just destroy it under my thunder, it's a filthy world. There is a huge secret space above the clouds in the sky, and at this moment, a person is laughing wildly. In his wild laugh, countless thunder and lightning continued to fall, madly attacking this secret realm and destroying everything in the secret realm. This is Burka, the hometown of Enel. Burka is an extremely religious society. Their religion worships wings very much, thinking that wings are a symbol of their noble status given by the gods. Shortly after Enel was born, his parents were convicted and the family was convicted of winged punishment. People without wings will be extremely discriminated against and even hated in Burka. Enel grew up in such discrimination and hatred. By the time they were 10, their parents could not bear the discriminatory suppression of everyone around them and chose to commit suicide. After the death of his parents, Enel's life is more difficult. It is conceivable that without parents, Enel suffered such a big crime in that extremely discriminatory environment. So Enel hated his hometown and the world since he was a child. It's a pity that he can't resist, but all this changed after he ate thunderfruit and got lightning. Logia's devil fruit ability gives him invincible power, and Logia's elementalization makes him immune to all attacks. With the power of lightning, he can easily defeat the enemy and even kill the enemy. The speed of thunder and lightning, the penetrating power of thunder and lightning, and the electric shock of thunder and lightning make Enel feel that he is omnipotent. However, Enel did not retaliate against Burka from the beginning, but continued to improve his accumulated strength. He didn't just want to retaliate against some people, or to overthrow Burka's rule. His hatred of Burka has reached the point where it cannot be attached. He has a plan. He wants to destroy the entire Burka, clean this world that makes him feel dirty. He wants to erase Burka completely. His continuous training develops the power of Thunderfruit. From the discharge of 1 million volts, to the 30 million volt Thunderbird and Thunderbeast, to the 60 million volt Thunderdragon, and finally the 200 million volt Thor. Finally he developed the ability to destroy the entire Burka, Wan Lei. Today, everything is finally ready. Cast thousands of thunder, and drop countless thunder and lightning to destroy this Burka, whom he hates so much. Seeing Wan Lei who destroyed everything, Enel laughed wildly. He has a feeling that he is like a god. This is really terrifying power. Sure enough, as expected of Enel, it's really a godlike power. The power to destroy everything is really amazing. Ohm and the others looked at this destroying power, and their mouths grew up in surprise. Ohm and others are the 4 people Enel met when he was a gangster. They are also full of dissatisfaction with Burka. Although they are not like Enel without wings, as orphans, they have also become gangsters since childhood and are discriminated against. Although there is no hatred of Enel for Burka, he also has no feelings. Now seeing Enel's godlike power, one by one opened his mouth in surprise. It's really good. The power of Thunderfruit deserves to be called the strongest attack power in Logia, so the scene of the thunder landing is really spectacular. It can scare a large group of people. At this moment, there was a voice beside him. Rang and said. The sudden sound made Enel wait for a while before he came back to his senses. At this time, Enel and others discovered that when there was an extra person beside him. How is this possible? Before this person appeared, they didn't notice anyone. You know that they have all cultivated the Heartnet. Especially Enel, after obtaining Thunderfruit, combining the abilities of the Heart Network and Thunderfruit, he can perceive the entire Burka's radio waves. Just to appreciate Burka's miserable cry under the destruction of his own Wan Lei, he opened his own unique Heart Network in all aspects, but he did not perceive how the other party appeared. Ohm even stepped away from the spot in shock, looking at the people who appeared with extremely vigilant eyes. Who are you? Without wings and such costumes, are you from Qinghai? Be careful. This person can approach us silently. This Qinghai native is not easy. The 4 Ohm looked at the visitor and said vigilantly. Only Enel was still indifferent, even watching the visitors with interest. He is Logia, he is thunder and lightning, he is Thor. No one can hurt himself, and has the thunder and lightning that destroys everything. Even if the other party has any ability, it is impossible to hurt yourself. He is a god who can elementalize and ignore any attack. Any attack is useless to thunder. Since no attack could hurt him, what would he be afraid of? Ahahaha. There is a bug from Qinghai. Are you judging the gods? Ani. Lu looked at the visitor with a look of contempt. The powerful force also made Enel gradually become arrogant. Now I am more self-proclaimed by God. No, I just saw a clown entertaining himself, and by the way, I have a look at the fireworks, but I have to say that Thunderfruit is indeed the top devil fruit, and even a rookie can exert such amazing power. This person is Yuri, seeing such an amazing thunderstorm in the sky. And his observation Hockey could feel that the power of this thunderstorm was far more terrifying than they saw. Although the environment in this world is harsh, thunderstorms are also very common, but such terrifying thunderstorms are all gathered towards one place, and such an orderly attack is definitely not a natural force. The only thing that can do this in this world is the power of Thunderfruit. Speaking of Thunderfruit, Yuri thought of Enel. So Yuri came over to take a look, and prepared to receive a horse by the way. Thunderfruit is a very powerful force. If you exercise more, the Gabriel dynasty will have another force to deter the sea. Yuri is not going to let it go. 2. Ahaha, stupid mortal. Do you know who you are provoking? You are now provoking a high god, which is extremely stupid. Hearing Yuri's words, Enel's face changed slightly, and then he smiled arrogantly. A clown who claims to be a god? Yuri asked with a smile. What a foolish fellow. Let's let you experience the power of the gods today, Enel said. Wait a minute, Enel. Ohm said at this moment. Huh. Enel looked at Ohm. Kill a chicken. Should you use a sledge knife? Let us teach this guy who knows nothing about life and death, Ohm said. It's just a guy who doesn't know how to live or die. Where do you still need to take action? Haha, let us meet him. Please let us solve thee and decide him. The others also jumped out at the same time and surrounded Yuri in a blink of an eye. But they didn't do anything, as if they were waiting for Enel's order, waiting for Enel's consent. Ahaha, since it's your request, it's handed over to you, Enel said with a smile. A lifeless guy. Who do you think you are in front of you? Enel is a person who has gained the power of the gods. How dare you provoke him lifelessly? Seeing such a terrifying 10,000 mu, you dare to provoke Enel. I have to admit that you are bold. Bold? It's just a matter of life and death. Oh, and the others sneered at Yuri and said, at the same time, he took out his weapon to besiege Yuri. Ohm and the others didn't care. When Yuri suddenly appeared, they didn't notice at all, which made them think Yuri should be a bit capable. Therefore, Ohm and others have no plans to fight alone. Holding this weapon, Ohm and others slowly surrounded Yuri, preparing to join forces against Yuri. Suddenly everyone stopped. Haha, are you bold? I want to give this sentence to you too. Yuri raised his head and looked at the crowd, and at the same time a terrifying spirit rushed out of him. A look of horror appeared on the faces of Ohm and others, looking at Yuri as if looking at a monster. This courage makes their hearts tremble, this courage makes them fear. At this moment, the person in front of them changed drastically, as if the person standing in front of them was no longer alone, but a demon god, a monster, a demon from hell. Fear made them stop all their movements and made them look at Yuri tremblingly. Who do you think I am? Those who dare to talk to me like this are all buried in the sea, in front of the Magneto throne. Yuri said. This time the real terrifying pressure was enveloped on Ohm and others. Under this terrifying weight, Ohm and others were immediately pressed on the iron cloud under their feet. The terrifying pressure, even the iron cloud that was pressing, sank in. Puff. Blood spurted from their mouths, one by one, showing incomparable horror. It's crackling. Enel's body turned into thunder and flashed back, appearing a few hundred meters away and looking at Yuri in surprise. Who are you? This is the power of fruit. You have eaten that fruit. You are electricity, I am magnetism, so we still have some fate, so let's follow me in the future, Yuri said with a smile. You want to subdue me, want to subdue a god, it's really arrogant, God's sanction. Enel sneered, and at the same time raised a hand to Yuri. A huge lightning shot from his palm instantly when he came out. He shot in front of Yuri in an instant, and he didn't care about the life and death of Ohm and others in front of and around Yuri. Use thunder and lightning to deal with me. Interesting. Yuri also raised a palm to the lightning that was shot and pressed it, and even caught the thunder and lightning with flesh and blood. Yuri's hand did not use any gravitational or repulsive force, but when Yuri's hand was pressed on the thunderbolt, a magical scene appeared. When Raiden touched Yuri's hand, he disappeared silently. How is it possible? Enel said in shock. This is the first time Enel has eaten thunder fruit. Thunder fruit's powerful attack power has never been disadvantageous, and it can easily tear opponents apart. But in Yuri's hands, it didn't have the slightest effect. And the thunder and lightning disappeared out of thin air. Enel couldn't see what was going on. 30 million volts, Thunder Beast. Enel's expression was thunder and lightning, and the powerful thunder and lightning formed a huge thunder beast and rushed towards Yuri. It's useless. Devil fruit is divided into upper and lower levels, and my devil fruit happens to be the superior of your thunder fruit. Your ability is completely restrained by me, Yuri said with a smile. At the same time, he stretched out his hand again and held down the thunder beast that was killed in front of him. With the press of Yuri's hand, the huge thunder beast disappeared in no time. How can it be possible to forcibly turn my lightning into magnetism? Enel said in shock. This time Enel observed carefully and finally saw clearly what happened. But this clear view shocked him even more. It turns out that when Yuri's hand touched the thunder beast, his thunder beast was forcibly transformed into a wave of magnetic force. How is it possible? Is it really as he said? His devil fruit is really the top of his thunder fruit. Enel couldn't believe it. Enel looked suspicious. Yuri's mouth curled slightly. What is not in the upper ranks is naturally impossible. Even if thunder fruit has upper fruit, it cannot be a magnetic fruit. All just because Yuri's strength is far above Enel. Just like Mera fruit and Lava fruit. The reason why Lava fruit can restrain Mera fruit is actually not that Lava fruit is the upper fruit of Mera fruit. Just because Sakazuki's strength is far above Ace. How long will it take for Ace to get Mera fruit? There is Sakazuki's opponent who has controlled Lava fruit for decades, Admiral of Headquarters. So there is a situation where Lava fruit crushes Mera fruit. It's the same now, although thunder fruit is powerful, the difference in strength between Enel and Yuri is too large. Magnetism can transfer electricity, and electricity can also transfer magnetism. Coupled with Yuri's control over the horrors of magnetic fruit, it is easy to convert electricity into magnetic force. As for the damage of lightning when the hand touches it, Yuri has not practiced thunder and lightning breathing for nothing in the past few years. An ordinary lightning attack is like drinking water and eating for Yuri. Seeing this situation, Enel couldn't help but be a little skeptical. Isn't it like what Yuri said, his magnetic fruit is really the superior of his thunder fruit? Nothing is impossible. Thunder fruit claims that Logia attacks the strongest devil fruit, but there is nothing in front of me. Obediently submit to Enel. Yuri said with a smile. Do you want to make a god surrender? Don't be too arrogant. Even if you can transform thunder and lightning into magnetism, I don't believe you can even transform Wanlei. Enel sneered. With a wave of Enel's hand, Wanlei, who had almost destroyed Burka, suddenly turned and struck Yuri. The thunder and lightning smashed into Yuri's body in an instant. Yuri didn't evade letting the thunder and lightning strike him, either. For a time, Yuri's look was a masterpiece of lightning, and endless lightning blasted on Yuri's body madly. Is this Wanlei? Not bad power. If it was 2 years ago, it would be really troublesome. Yuri, who was bathed in thunder and lightning, suddenly said lightly, making Enel's face change drastically. If it was 2 years ago, Yuri had only repulsion to resist, and then defeated Enel as quickly as possible. Otherwise, he would be the one who was consumed in the end. Wanlei is not only Enel's own power, but also the power of nature. Enel only needs to stimulate the thundercloud to stimulate endless lightning, which is why thunder fruit is the most attacking devil fruit in Logia. Even if Enel's strength is not very strong, but with Wanlei he has a complete chance to heat Yuri to death. Yuri is a human power fighting against nature. Of course, it doesn't mean that Enel can defeat Yuri 2 years ago. Yuri has many ways to defeat Enel, but there is absolutely no way to be so easy now. In the face of Enel Wanlei's attack, Yuri didn't even use the two-pole relative force field, allowing the lightning to attack him. For 2 years of continuous training with thunder and lightning breathing method, Yuri has become accustomed to the blow of thunder and lightning, and ordinary thunder and lightning cannot harm Yuri at all. Although Enel's 10,000 thunders are powerful, and the thunder and lightning are endless, but after attacking Yuri's expression, a large part of it is directly converted into magnetic force. The remaining part can't hurt Yuri naturally. On the contrary, Ohm and the others, who fell to the ground beside Yuri, were directly turned into coke by these lightning. Has the lightning stopped? Has Enel's attack stopped? No, it didn't stop. The thunder and lightning all went over there. What is that? It seems to be a person. Those thunder and lightning all attacked him. Under the thunder of Enel, Burka was almost completely destroyed. But because Enel transferred Wanlei's attack to Yuri, some people survived. They looked towards the sky suspiciously, and found that Wanlei hadn't stopped in fact, but just hit all outside. To be precise, he was hitting a person. It's amazing, who is that person, who is attacked by thunder and lightning that it is all right. It's a god bathed in thunder and lightning. Did he save us? Without wings, someone without wings actually saved us. Oh my god, we adore wings and discriminate against people without wings, but in the end a person without wings saved us. How is it possible? It's all right. The thunder and lightning continued to attack Yuri frantically, but as time passed by, Enel couldn't even hurt Yuri at all when he saw it, Enel said in disbelief. It's a waste. If you have a higher control of thunder fruit, you can concentrate all the power of the thunder fruit to attack. There may be some effects, but now you control the thunder fruit, and there is no way to completely hit me with the lightning. If you do, how could it hurt me? Yuri looked around and said. Although Enel controlled Wanlei all to hit him, but Enel is still unable to accurately control it, so in fact, most of the thunder and lightning did not really hit Yuri. A large part of it was just around Yuri. Moreover, although the lightning attack is fast, the attacks cannot be concentrated one after another, and cannot be condensed into a stronger attack. Naturally, it is impossible to harm Yuri. Hearing Yuri's words, Enel's face is very ugly. Who doesn't want to gather the power of Wanlei? But Wanlei is just the natural thunder and lightning that he stimulates in the dark clouds. Even if he is a thunder fruit capable person, it is impossible to control the natural thunder and lightning as he wants. At least he can't do it now. This is the first time he has used this kind of ability, and he has been desperately controlling it to be able to make all the lightning strikes here. Next, try this trick. Discharge it, 100 million volts. Enel said angrily, and a huge thunderbolt hit Yuri. This is interesting. Shenluo Tianzheng. Seeing Enel release 100 million volts of lightning, Yuri finally did not use his body to resist. The lightning of 100 million volts, even now he would not dare to directly use his body to hit it like this. The terrifying repulsion broke out, repelling everything around. The thunder and lightning, including the people who fell on the ground all around, were violently rejected by this force. Finally, I can't bear it. 200 million volts Thor. A powerful lightning was released from Enel, condensing into a huge human-shaped lightning energy body. Turning into a thunder god, Enel hit Yuri with a punch, and the powerful thunder and lightning shot at Yuri's expression with this punch. It's useless. Yuri said lightly. The lightning speed was so fast that shot Yuri's body, crackling, and after the lightning disappeared, Yuri stood there unscathed. All thunder and lightning cannot even touch Yuri for half a point, which is Yuri's 2-pole square force field. Enel was shocked for a while and said, "So, there is an invisible force over your body, and all the lightning is blocked by this invisible force. Ah ha ha. I have to say that you are very strong. Not only Wanlei can't hurt you, but even Thor's attacks can be easily blocked. Even I am a little helpless, but I am a god, and your attacks are also ineffective against gods," Enel said. "Is that so?" Yuri said lightly. "I'm thunder and lightning, no one can hit me." Enel hasn't finished speaking. Yuri has appeared in front of him instantly and punched out. How is this possible? Under this fist, the thunder and lightning all over Enel was crushed, and the body was also knocked upside down. Bloodline came out of Kakuzu from the nose and mouth. He looked dumbfounded. He didn't know what was going on. He was there. Was this a dream? Why was he able to hit himself? God? That's just your illusion. You are just a rookie. Don't think that Logia can be invincible. Such a person will die the fastest in the sea. Enel was fisted heavily by Yuri, hitting an iron cloud and then stopped. The corners of the mouth and nose of the punchani were bleeding, but Enel didn't care about it at all. He still has an extremely bewildered look on his face, looking at Yuri. His eyes are full of doubts. How is it possible? Why are you able to hit me? Enel still looked incredulous. Since he obtained Thunder Fruit, and since he was able to elementalize, any attack will be invalid to him. The reason why he has the idea that he is a god is not only because he controls thunder and lightning and has unparalleled power, but also because he can elementize and invalidate enemy attacks. If the enemy can't hurt him, he is naturally fearless, and he naturally feels that he is a godlike existence. But all of this broke Yuri, and the thunder and lightning were restrained by him. Now even the last support was broken by Yuri, and he was forced there for a while. Nothing is impossible. I said that you were just a rookie who hasn't even learned armament hockey. I thought I would feel invincible after eating a devil fruit. There is no invincible ability in the world. Even if it is, yes, it is absolutely impossible to be invincible after eating a fruit. You can't help thinking of invincibility too simple, Yuri said, making Enel's face very ugly. A Logia devil fruit ability person who can elementize the body and invalidate physical attacks, thinks that he is invincible, but such a person is often the fastest to die in the sea. In this world, all things grow and restrain each other. Since they have this ability, naturally there is a way to restrain him. Logia devil fruit is no exception, and there is more than one restraining it. Yuri. There is more than one. What is it? Enel asked. The first type of sea stone, to be precise, all demon fruit power is restrained by sea stone, because it is the crystallization of the sea, and once the demon fruit power falls into the sea, it will become weak. The sea stone crystallized by the sea will also encounter nature. I'm so weak that I can't even use devil fruit's ability, Yuri said with a finger. Hearing Yuri's words, Enel was not surprised. The iron cloud of Sky Island contains this trace of sea stone element, so Enel has long felt that the iron cloud has a slight influence on him, and it must be the reason for the sea stone. The second is armament hockey. This power is the standard equipment of New World. It is the potential power of the human body. It can capture the elemental body of Logia and attack the body. Therefore, newcomers who think that they are invincible with elementalization enter New World. It's often the fastest to die. Yuri. Humans still have such power, Enel said solemnly. Human potential is more than that. There are 3 types of hockey: Conquerors, Armed Color, and Seeing and Hearing Color. Conquerors is the potential of being bold and king. You have just seen it. Armament hockey has a defensive role. It's like an invisible armor, and it can also capture the elementalization of Logia. It also has a certain degree of restraint on the devil fruit ability. As for observation hockey, you also have it on Sky Island, which is called the Heartnet. Yuri continued. Are you in control of the heart? That's what you mean by observation hockey? Enel's eyes narrowed when he heard Yuri say the word Heartnet. Thunder Fruit's attack had no effect on Yuri, and the elementalization of Logia was cracked by Yuri. In Enel's heart, only the heart web was left to rely on. Although my elementalization is not effective for Yuri, I still have the speed of thunder and lightning. Coupled with the upgraded Heartnet combined with his lightning ability, it has the ability to predict, and he can easily evade the opponent's attack, but if Yuri also has the Heartnet. Isn't that of course? Even in New World, I am a top-notch existence, known as the Emperor of the Seakun is facing the sea, so becoming my subordinate will not insult you, Yuri said with a smile. Ah ha ha. Thank you for your explanation, but I don't plan to be someone else's subordinate, so goodbye, Enel said with a smile. After speaking, Enel flashed into lightning and disappeared in place. Hee. I've wasted time telling you so much, how could I just let you go like this? Universal pull. Yuri raised a hand, and a terrifying gravitational force appeared. Enel turned into lightning with lightning speed. He wants to leave Yuri a bit further now. His own lightning attack was ineffective, and the elementalization of Logia was restrained. Even the opponent of the Heart Network also possessed it. It was crushed by the opponent in all aspects. There is absolutely no chance of winning in the battle. However, he still has support. He is thunder and lightning. At the speed of thunder and lightning, it is absolutely impossible for the other party to catch up with him. Since he can't fight, just stay away from him. Thinking of Enel turning into thunder and lightning to leave here quickly. But at this moment, I suddenly felt a great gravitational force appear. This gravitational force is extremely terrifying, and he can't even resist, so he is sucked in. Then he felt his neck grabbed by a hand, and again, it was Yuri who grabbed his neck. I am also the Emperor of the Sea anyhow. Kun is facing the sea, and what I say is the imperial decree. Those who violate it will have to bear my anger. Are you ready to bear my anger? Yuri looked at Enel and said lightly. How did you do it? Enel looked at Yuri in a panic and said. Gravity is it necessary to be so surprised? Yuri? Gravity? Isn't your ability magnetic? Ainihulu. It's magnetism. It might be a little troublesome to explain. You just need to know that magnetism also has the ability to attract and repel opposite sexes. Yuri said with a smile. Pervert. How can such a thing be done? A monster. Enel said in horror. Now is not the time to be surprised. Follow me. There will be many things like this in the future. You are guaranteed to be thrilling, but you have to make a choice before this. It is related to whether you will follow me in the future, and I will guide you. Let's take a look at the excitement of this world. Endless food, stunning beauties, top powerhouses. If you choose the wrong one, unfortunately, your life ends here. There is no future. Yuri said. So, let's choose. Hey, who is the captain? He looks very hanging. Yuri returned to the Boeing Islands with an extra person beside him. This person is Enel. Seeing Enel's tugging look, Brian couldn't help but asked with a smile. In the end, Enel agreed to Yuri and was willing to join the Gabriel dynasty. As a result, Enel is not as arrogant as in the future. Secondly, the arrogant heart that just arose was crushed by Yuri and was severely suppressed. With the threat of death, Enel had better agree. But Enel also said that one day his strength will surpass Yuri. If one day his strength surpasses Yuri and becomes a true god, he will leave the pirate group. In response, Yuri curled his lips and surpassed me. I am afraid you will never have a chance in your life. It's not that Yuri is confident, but his current strength is really strong. God. Yuri said with a smile at the corner of his mouth when he heard Brian's words. God? Everyone showed a dazed expression. Hey, I'm okay, don't talk about this. Enel looked at Yuri angrily and said. He now claims to be ashamed of God. This makes him feel like he is ignorant. He doesn't understand anything, but arrogantly claims to be a god, and is easily crushed by people. After thinking about it, Enel feels really shameful. It's like seeing the feeling of second time after the second disease is cured. However, one day I will become stronger and stronger as a true god, Enel said. Haha, I want to be a god. It's very arrogant boy. Not bad boy, you have to work hard if you want to become a god. That is, it's not that easy for God to do it. At least the captain's strength is needed. Everyone said with a smile. In their eyes, gods are equal to monsters, and it is not so easy to become a monster. Huh, who do you think I am? I am Enel, Enel said disdainfully. Hee, as your senior, it seems necessary to tell you that you can't be too arrogant before you become a god, Brian said. Ha, if you have the ability, you can try it, Enel said disdainfully. It's just right, let me see what the newcomer has. Brian drew out a sword. It's really a newcomer. Brian teaches him a lesson. Come on, Brian, don't let the newcomer look down on you. Brain, don't capsize the ship in the gutter. It's not easy for the captain to bring it back. The crowd said humbly. Aha, demon fruit power. I thought of it a long time ago. The captain likes collecting demon fruit power the most. It must be demon fruit power that can be brought back by the captain. Saying that, I also know that Enel is demon fruit power, and it can be seen by Yuri, and it is so arrogant. Enel's devil fruit is definitely not simple. But Brian still didn't care much. If it was 2 years ago, Brian still needs to be cautious in the face of some powerful demon fruit power, but now. Like Yuri, whether it is Brian, Ashby, or even Bonus, their physique is not very strong. Throughout his life, the strength to reach Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral has come to an end. If you want to go further, it is almost impossible. Even if they work hard to cultivate, their physique has limits. However, 2 years of training on the Boeing Islands have greatly made up for the defects of their foundation. Although it still can't compare with monsters like Kaido Big Mom, it has surpassed most pirates in New World. 2 years of New World training, 2 years of Boeing Islands training. Blair has already broken through the level of ordinary Marine Vice Admiral, and all of them have the strength of quasi-big swords. Coupled with the Devil Fruit ability, even Admiral-level powerhouses can fight. As for whether they can reach Admiral in the future, it depends on their own chances. Even Boeing Islands cannot help them, after all, even Boeing Islands' exercise has its limits. However, DAAC, who has the quasi-admiral strength, is already in the world. Even in New World, few people can easily defeat him. Naturally, they will not be afraid of a person who suddenly appears. Even if his Devil Fruit ability is very strong, but who does not have Devil Fruit ability, Brian has never felt that his Devil Fruit ability is worse than anyone else. Seeing that Brian hadn't put him in his eyes at all, Enel was secretly annoyed. Even though he is not Yuri's opponent, can he not even defeat his subordinates? Thinking of this, Enel raised his eyebrows, ready to make Brian look good and let him know how good he was. But at this moment, Brian's figure flashed, and the person had appeared behind Enel. At the same time, Enel's body was cut off. Even if you want a lesson, you don't have to pass it this way, right? It's Brian, it's the captain who brought it back anyway, you can cut him off with a single sword, right? Seeing Brian cut Enel in the middle with a sword, Ashby and Kemp said slightly in surprise. I use the back of the knife, and the feel is. Brain also looked at Enel a little unexpectedly. At this moment, Enel's body that had been cut in two gave off thunder and lightning, and his body was restored to its original shape in a blink of an eye. Is it Logia? Thunder. This is Logia Thunder Fruit? Brian was surprised. It turned out to be Logia, and it was also Thunder Fruit. The captain really brought back a rare guy this time. No wonder the captain was admired by the captain, who even dared to call himself a god, turned out to be a Logia Thunder Fruit capable person. Logia, it's still Thunder Fruit. If you train more, you might become a monster. Naval Headquarters has 3 such monsters. Thunder Fruit should be no worse than Magma, Freezing, and Flash. Is he Logia too? I don't know how strong it is, but Thunder Fruit should be good. Seeing Enel's body healed in a blink of an eye and emitting lightning, it immediately understood that Enel was a Logia Thunder Fruit capable person. Because of the 3 Logia Admiral of Naval Headquarters, everyone is very curious about Enel. Monet, who was also a Logia Demon Fruit ability, looked at Enel with curiosity. Ah. Good swordsmanship. Is this a member of the pirate group? I admit your strength, Enel said with a smile looking at everyone's surprised look. This is exactly what he wants. Facing a newcomer, Brian would naturally not be serious at the beginning, so although the speed of that sword is fast, it is predicted by Enel's observation hockey, plus his lightning speed, it should be dodgeable. But he didn't hide, just to show everyone his ability. Just to see this surprised look. Really arrogant newcomer. Haha, Brian, you are completely underestimated. It's Brian, people don't put you in the eyes at all. Brain, can you do it? Or change me. Hearing what Enel said, everyone in Joe laughed. And Brian raised his eyebrows and laughed likewise. But his laughter made Enel feel a little bad. Is the elementalization of Logia Thunder Fruit? Yes, in the first half of the Great Sailing Road, there is indeed the qualification to be the king, but it seems that the captain did not tell you. Elementalization is possible in the second half of the Great Sailing Road. You can't eat it. Well, if that's the case, as a senior, I have an obligation to tell you this. In order to prevent you from losing your life because of carelessness, I let you deeply realize this. Brain's body exudes. Gave a very scary atmosphere. Seeing Brian, who exuded this terrifying aura, a slightly surprised expression appeared on Enel's face. Yeah, haha, who wouldn't speak big words? You have to be able to do it, Enel said proudly. Although his arrogance, Yuri was hit hard. But since acquiring Thunder Fruit, his pride and arrogance have been incorporated into his bones. When facing Yuri, this arrogance had to be put away, but when facing other people, it was immediately revealed again. It seems that you are very confident of your own strength, but I hope you can say this in a while, Brian said. While speaking, Armament Hockey entangled the long knife in his hand. Armament Hockey, haha, it seems that you still have some abilities. Enel's eyes narrowed as he saw Armament Hockey wrapped around Brian's long knife. Although I heard Yuri said that it is standard equipment in the so-called New World Armament Hockey, but Enel only thinks that it is Yuri's exaggerated statement, which is used to beat himself. He knows the difficulty of observation hockey cultivation, which belongs to the same kind of hockey. Armament hockey is definitely not easy to practice. How can New World have armament hockey everywhere? But I didn't expect Yuri's subordinate to come out alone, even with armament hockey. Or is this person not a simple crew member? How much skill you have, you'll know soon. Brian said with a faint smile, and stepped out after speaking. The moment he took this step out of Brian's figure, he appeared beside Enel, slashing towards Enel. This time, whether it is the speed of movement or the speed of the knife, Brian is astonishingly fast. It is completely different from the one he made earlier. Seeing this knife, Bonus and others understood that Brian began to get a little serious. But now that Brian is serious, it also means that the battle is over. They don't think that a newcomer boy can take a serious Brian attack next, even if he is a Logia Thunderfruit capable person. But what everyone didn't expect was that Blaine's speed was faster, and Enel's speed was even faster. When Brian slashed Enel with a single knife, Enel had already turned into thunder and disappeared. Did off. Except Yuri, everyone was surprised. It's not just the speed of thunder and lightning. Enel had already seen Brian's cut before Ren's cut. Ashby said with a flash of light in his eyes. Observation hockey? This feeling is still quite advanced. Kem said in surprise. Is it a high-level experience? That's really amazing. Even in New World, few people can practice observation hockey to an advanced level. It feels like a special ability has been born. Is it a natural awakened person? Everyone said in surprise. There are many people who have observation hockey in New World, but most of them are at the preliminary stage. There are very few people who can practice observation hockey to the advanced stage. It is even rarer to be able to give birth to special abilities of seeing, hearing and coloring. The general observation hockey can only capture the target's movement by sensing the target's breath, dynamics, heartbeat, etc. But there is a kind of people who are born with a special talent for observation hockey. After practicing observation hockey to a high level, they also derive some special abilities. For example, foreseeing the future, perceiving changes in the opponent's emotions, predicting the opponent's moves, being able to perceive some special things, having a unique perception of swords and swordsmanship, and so on. The strength of Bonus and others is at the level of a big pirate even in New World, but no one can practice observation hockey to the point of having special abilities. This requires talent and cannot be achieved by strength. So when they saw Enel's observation hockey, which seemed to have a special ability, they were slightly surprised. You seem to be surprised. It seems that you are not strong enough. Discharge 30 million volts. Enel turned into lightning and appeared behind Brian instantly. Attacked Brian. Ah. Brian did not hide. He took Armament Hockey's long knife and slashed directly at the thunder and lightning. Enel was taken aback. Brian's knife easily ripped off his thunder and lightning and slashed towards Enel. But in shock, Enel quickly turned into thunder and dodges. God's sanctions. 6 million Thunder Dragon. 30 million volts. Enel's body turned into thunder and lightning, wandering around Brian. Nor did he contact with Brian, and constantly used thunder and lightning to launch attacks on Brian. From the confrontation just now, Enel has understood that this guy named Brian in front of him is definitely not a simple character. So he never dared to approach anymore, using Thunderfruit's advantage to launch an attack at a long distance. But letting Enel attack, Brian just cut out from the beginning to the end, splitting Enel's thunder and lightning. It's flashing back and forth, it's really troublesome, stop it for me, Brian shouted. Hearing what Brian said, Enel showed disdain. Let me stop, I will stop, who do you think you are? But the next moment a dull look appeared on Enel's face. Because his body really stopped, he was fixed there to be precise. In Enel's shocked gaze, Brian walked over for a change, with a grinning smile on his face. Ah ha ha, can I give up? Enel smiled bitterly. Well, sometimes only profound lessons can make you feel the horror of New World more, so as not to overturn your boat in the gutter. This is the predecessor's teaching. Brian did not use a knife to condense this powerful armament hockey. Fist, punch after punch, hit Enel. Immediately, the screams were heard on the Boeing Islands. Well, it's delicious, it's so delicious, I am still shocked that there is such a delicious food in the world. Enel, who is covered in wounds, eats the delicacies of the temptation forest frantically. Haha, I've been beaten again, you really don't know the lesson, Mr. Bonus, they are the Shira people. In the Gabriel Pirates, they are the strongest existence besides the captain. After this period of training, even in New World they are also top-level powerhouses, but you can't deal with them now. The girl floating in the sky smiled and said to Enel mockingly. Do you care? Sooner or later I will defeat all of them, including the captain. Enel rolled his eyes and said to the girl. This girl is Misita. As the captain who joined the Gabriel Pirate Group from the beginning, after adding the Dire Pirate Group's adaptation, she entered directly into the inner formation. Because of his age and strength, one follows Robin. Later, Qianlong Camp was established, and Michelta was arranged in Qianlong Camp to train with other children in Qianlong Camp. Later, when Qianlong Camp was transferred to the Boeing Islands, she also followed to train here. What? You don't even want to defeat the captain, do you? Impossible, impossible, Masita said in surprise. If you don't try, how do you know that it's impossible? I'm thunder and lightning, plus this Boeing Islands. I believe it won't be long before I can defeat him, Enel said while eating. During this period of time, Enel has been fighting with Bonus and others every day, challenging them. Bonus and the others also know that with Enel's devil fruit ability, sooner or later his strength will catch up with them, and even surpass them to become Admiral-class powerhouses. So there is only now if you want to bully Enel, so Enel is very welcome to challenge them. Every time they left a deep impression on Enel. However, although the lessons learned during this period are miserable, Enel feels that he has made great progress. Whether it is combat power or his own physical strength, he is improving at a speed he has never thought of before. Especially the strength of the body, it has grown like flying during this period of time. All this is due to the delicacy of the Boeing Islands. It is delicious, and it can quickly increase physical strength. Enel feels that they are actually a better training place than here. At the same time, it made him feel that it was good to follow Yuri. The rapid improvement makes Enel feel that as long as he trains here for a while, he will soon be able to catch up with Bonus and even surpass Bonus and so on, and then he can challenge Yuri. You still want to challenge the captain, don't you know how good the captain is? Michelta looked at Enel in surprise and said. Ah ha ha, that guy is very powerful, but it's not that I have no chance of defeating. I am a thunderfruit capable person, Enel said. During this time, he has learned some things about devil fruit. Knowing what magnetic fruit is the upper fruit of thunderfruit is purely Yuri's trick. Thunderfruit is Logia devil fruit, magnetic fruit is Superman devil fruit. How could it be the upper fruit of thunderfruit? And thunderfruit is the top Logia devil fruit, and devil fruit is known as the strongest devil fruit in Logia. How can it be in the top? The reason why his lightning attack is ineffective against Yuri is only because of Yuri's strength, and the magnetic fruit can indeed convert electricity into magnetism. However, in the battle, this transformation is very limited. It's just that I don't have enough control over Raiden, which gives Yuri a chance to succeed. And Yuri can convert electricity into magnetism. He can also convert magnetism into electricity. If one's strength is strong enough, it is not certain who is the superior fruit. Impossible, impossible, the captain is 4 emperors, the emperor of the sea. You definitely don't know the true strength of the captain, otherwise you would never have such thoughts, Michita said. Ah ha ha, of course I know that guy's strength, magnetism, gravitation, repulsion, that guy developed devil fruit well, but thanks to him, I also have a better idea about the development of devil fruit, Enel said with a smile. Are you sure? Do you really understand the true strength of the captain? Michita said with confusion. Captain, something has happened to New World. On this day, Bonus came into the dragon and said. Late, what happened? The 5th Sea Emperor of New World has appeared, Bonus said very solemnly. He knows that the appearance of every Emperor of the Sea will inevitably change the situation of the entire New World. The appearance of the 5th Emperor of the Sea will inevitably make New World turbulent. The 5th Emperor of the Sea? Shanks. It seems that our training journey is about to end, Yuri said with a smile. In fact, during this period of time, the food effects of Boeing Islands have been negligible. We should have returned to New World for a while. Fighting is the best training, Bonus said with a smile. The delicacies of Boeing Islands also have their limits. After 2 years, the food of Boeing Islands has become less and less effective for Yuri or Bonus and other people. Even if there is no such thing, they will leave. That's right. Those guys in New World during this time are all ready to move. Not to mention the new Star Pirates. Big Mom and Beast seem to have joined forces secretly. Facing the attack of 2-4 Emperor's pirate groups at the same time, Brian said with a smile. This Shanks and Whitebeard seem to have a good relationship. Maybe we formed an alliance that day, but we seem to be the most lonely, Bonus said. Marine is also constantly moving. Their strength has skyrocketed after the big conscription all over the world. It seems that they have recruited a few very powerful monsters. During this time, they have returned to the New World, Ashby said. It seems that you have been bored in the Boeing Islands for the past 2 years, and you can't wait to fight, so what are you waiting for? Go to New World to spend time, and he will turn things upside down. This time I want 99 for the entire New World, Yuri said with a smile. I said, Captain, aren't we going back to New World? How did you come here? The city of 7 waters, I remember, is a shipbuilding city. Does the captain want to build ships? A pirate ship docked in the city of 7 waters, and a tall man on the ship asked. Hee. I'm here to find a boatman. A man in a black trench coat said with a smile. Shipman. Is there any shipman in New World? Do you still need the captain to find it yourself? The few people on this ship are Yuri and others. After receiving the news of the appearance of the fifth Sea Emperor of New World, they knew that New World would have a huge turmoil. Such a huge turmoil, Robin alone might not be able to sustain it, so Yuri and the others decided to return to New World. But what Bonus and the others didn't expect was that Yuri didn't directly sail to New World with a permanent pointing needle. Instead, he turned to the City of Seven Waters. In the first half of the Great Navigation Road, the City of Seven Waters is also very famous. Especially in recent years, with the passage of sea trains, the City of Seven Rivers has become more and more famous, and it has become the most famous shipbuilding city in the first half of the Great Navigation Road. But when it comes to shipbuilding, how can the first half of the Great Navigation Road be compared to the upper and second half of New World? It is necessary to know that the harsh environment of New World is more than 10 times that of the first half. In order to cope with the harsh environment, the requirements of the ship are extremely high, which also forces the shipbuilding technology of the New World to exceed that of the New World. They really couldn't think of any need for the boatmen that Yuri came to find in person. Just when everyone was wondering, suddenly there was a sound of shelling from the other side of the port. Everyone wondered, how could there be shelling? No, there is a ship attacking the judicial ship. Run away, fled to the interior. Who on earth actually attacked the judicial ship? Look at the judicial ship being sunk. There was a wave of riots in the port on the other side. Unexpectedly, it happened to be today, Yuri said with a smile. Yuri's purpose in coming to the City of Seven Waters is very simple. It is for Tom and the sea train, as well as the Pluton design in his hand. If there is a sea train, Yuri can completely connect Solomon Island and Garu Island and turn the two islands into one with the sea train. This is of great benefit to the Gabriel dynasty. Moreover, sea trains can not only be used at sea, but also have a great effect on land. It may not be effective on other islands, but on a large island like Garu Island with a population of tens of millions, trains are very useful. Moreover, Garu Island is an island with a main business of minerals. If there is a train, it will be very convenient and save a lot of labor freight. Therefore, the sea train is of great benefit to the Canadian Empire. Yuri's purpose is to introduce the sea train and boatman Tom to the Canadian Empire. In addition, Pluton's design is also Yuri's purpose this time. However, Yuri wants to get Pluton design drawings, not to build Pluton. With the current industry of the Gabriel dynasty, it is impossible to build a so-called Pluton even if there is a Pluton design drawing. If you want to build a strategic weapon like Pluton, you need a complete set of modern industries, and even future high-tech industries. It is not possible to build according to a design drawing. Even with the support of modern industry, if you want to build a strategic weapon like Pluton, the money, labor, and time spent are all in the amount of time. Even if Yuri wants to make it, it may not be possible to see it in this lifetime. However, the importance of this design drawing is self-evident. According to this drawing, the Gabriel dynasty can reverse all walks of life and provide a clear path and direction for the industrial development of the Gabriel dynasty. So that the industry of the Gabriel dynasty developed rapidly. Compared with world government, the background of Emperor Giadi dynasty is much weaker. With Yuri, the Gabriel dynasty can be safe, but if he is absent one day, how should the Gabriel dynasty stand in the world? Yuri got the Pluton design drawings to increase the heritage of the Gabriel dynasty. He didn't want to build a dynasty by himself, and collapsed after himself, so why did he waste building such a dynasty? Let's go. There seems to be a good show today, we just went to see it, Yuri said with a smile. At the same time, on the other side of the port of the City of Seven Waters, a trial is being held. More than 10 years ago, the Murloc boat worker Tom was convicted of building a ship for Roger. But at that time Tom proposed the idea of a sea train. The presiding judge had better change his sentence and let Tom build a sea train. After more than 10 years of experimentation and construction, the sea train was finally built successfully, bringing great prosperity and convenience to the capital of the Seven Waters and the 4 connected islands. Today, the judicial ship of the world government once again arrived in the City of Seven Waters. The people who benefited from the sea train were all happy to come to the judicial ship to listen to this trial. Because this time the judicial ship came to Kashweji to judge Tom not guilty, they all came to witness this scene. The people were very grateful to Tom. It was his sea train that brought the city back to life. However, I did not expect that the battleship bombarded the judicial ship. Then the people came to the scrapyard under the guidance of the ship and saw the 3 people in Tom's studio. At the same time, the CP5 of the world government appeared and captured the 3 Toms in the city for a public trial. Everyone is surprised that Tom will be acquitted today when they come over. The judicial ship clearly came to acquit Tom, but why did they bombard the judicial ship at this time? But because the ship was built by Frankie, Tom's disciple, and many people have witnessed Tom and the 3 of them in the Hulk dock, and saw the gunboat and debris that bombarded the judicial ship in the Hulk dock. All the evidence points to Frankie and they attacked the judicial ship, but they didn't believe it. Now I can only blame it on the fact that Tom and the others really belonged to the One Piece gang, and they were of bad nature. During the trial, Frankie yelled for injustice. They did not do the attack on the judicial ship, but the people of CP5, which caused everyone to laugh. Everyone would not believe that the organization of the world government would attack the judicial ship of the world government. Because those gunboats attacked the judicial ship and caused Tom to suffer injustice, Frankie felt extremely guilty and said, "Those ships are not built by him." This sentence angered Tom. Tom is a Murloc, born with more than 10 times stronger power than humans, and he is not a simple Murloc. He broke the handcuffs with his force, and flew Frankie out with a punch, asking him to take it back. The boat is not his. This sentence. After reprimanding Frankie, he knew that the person who designed to convict him was the world government, and the person who was going to try him was also the world government. Tom felt that he might have no way to survive today. Because Spandam, who hated CP5 caused pain to his disciples, Tom slammed the CP5 chief Spandam's face with a vicious punch, deforming Spandane's face and flew out. Tom is going crazy. Seeing Tom's hands on the people of the world government, the citizens of the city of Seven Waters all exclaimed, and many people started to run away. Shoot. Tom grabbed his neck with one hand. Spandane hurriedly ordered the shot. Pop, pop, pop. The soldiers of the world government shot at Tom. The gun is very close to Tom, and Tom's body is huge. There is no reason to miss this distance. Seeing that the anesthetic bomb with this powerful anesthetic was about to hit Tom, but suddenly all the bullets were set in the air, at a position about half a meter behind Tom. The bullets stopped in the air. What's the situation? The bullets that were shot at Tom were all caught in the air. How did this happen? It's Tom's ability. It turns out that it belongs to Roger and the Pirate King, and they have such power. The people around exclaimed. What's the matter? The bullet was set in the air. Did Mr. Tom do it? How is it possible? Don't we know? Mr. Tom doesn't have such ability. Frankie and Bingberg also said in astonishment. Devil fruit ability. Who is it? Or the presiding judge was well informed, and immediately understood that someone had used devil fruit to stop these bullets. Who was it? Could it be the remnant party of One Piece? The presiding judge thought of a possibility. This person is useful to me, can't you let you attack him? A voice preached at this time. Who is it? Hearing the sudden voice, the chief judge looked in the direction of the voice and asked. The first question is the motive. Any criminal who commits a crime will have his motive. Can anyone tell me what the motive of Tom Studio's bombardment of the judicial ship is? It's him. Why is he here? And speaking for Tom, this is in trouble. At this time, the presiding judge saw this man, as if he was thinking of something. His eyes showed a look of horror, and at the same time, cold sweat broke out on his forehead. This speaker is Yuri, because Yuri has been silenced for 2 years. Even the presiding judge did not recognize Yuri in the first time. But the presiding judge was very knowledgeable after all, and finally recognized him. This recognition immediately made him startled with cold sweat. Everyone knows that the judicial ship came to the city of Seven Waters today and is preparing to acquit Tom. What motives and reasons do they have for attacking the judicial ship today? Don't say that he has built a ship for Roger, so he has a bad nature. If he has a bad nature, he would not build a sea train for the prosperity of the Seven Waters. As long as he is not a lunatic, there is no reason or motivation to bombard the judicial ship today. Yuri continued. He seems to have some truth in what he said. In fact, I have some doubts about this. I will be found not guilty today, but why should I bombard the judicial ship at this time? It's true that they have no motive. It's not who they are. We are all in full view. We saw Tom and the others in the hulkyard in the gunboat that just attacked the judicial ship. I know those gunboats. Frankie made them. Who else would they be? Hearing Yuri's words, everyone around said talking. Second question, although I have just arrived in the city of Seven Waters, I just took a look at it. At least 7 or 8 gunboats attacked the judicial ship, and the gunboats were quite delicately filled with artillery, but they just drove over quickly, and there was a fierce shelling on the judicial ship. In order to do this, at least one person was required to drive one person to fire the gun. That is to say, there were at least a dozen criminals in the attack just now, and Tom's studio only had 3 or 4. Personally, it's not enough. If the sinner is Tom's studio, then there are their accomplices in the city of Seven Waters. Who is their accomplice? Is it you? Is it you? Are you? Yuri pointed to the crowd in the crowd. Everyone said. How could it be me? Don't talk nonsense. I was here just now. How could it be the gunboat? Yes, don't wrong the good people if there is no evidence. When Yuri pointed so, everyone around panicked. The chief judge of the world government is here, and the CP of the world government. If they believe that they are accomplices, they are likely to be arrested and tried. Yes, don't wrong the good people without evidence, but when you first identified Tom's studio, why didn't you think so? Yuri said lightly. The ship was built by Frankie, and they were in the hulkyard. The gunboats that attacked the Justice were in the hulkyard. Are these not evidence? Someone said. According to your logic, whoever built the ship is suspected. Then everyone present is suspected of pirates. Many of you man-made captains eventually became pirate ships, Yuri said with a smile. Hearing Yuri's words, all the faces in the room changed drastically, and they no longer dared to speak. It's not who they can be. You defended Tom's studio in this way. They must be their accomplices. Someone came and arrested them for me. Not to mention his attack on world government officials is enough to arrest them. At this moment a clamoring voice rang out and said. It turned out that Tom saw someone defending them. He couldn't help but looked at Yuri curiously, so that Spandam took the opportunity to escape. This escape immediately issued an order to the surrounding soldiers. Under his order, all the soldiers around had their guns aimed at Yuri. Haha, Captain, someone said that you participated in the attack on the judicial ship and want to arrest you? Interesting. This CP is very courageous. It's the captain. There seem to be few people who dare to speak like this in the world government and marine. These soldiers of the world government are not bad too. Do they dare to point their guns at us? It seems that we have been silenced for too long, and the world has almost forgotten our horror. At this moment, Bonus and others beside Yuri said with a smile. Stop, don't move. At this time, the presiding judge hurriedly stopped and said. The presiding judge, are you trying to shield them? Spandam said dissatisfied. This is the strong lord of the Canadian Empire, Gabriel Yuri, said the presiding judge. Gabriel Yuri? I heard you right. Did the presiding judge say he is Gabriel Yuri, the Four Emperors Gabriel Yuri? It's him, it's really him. I saw him on the video of the naval headquarters battle. I said, why are you so familiar? There has been no news for 2 years. How could he appear here? That's right. How could such a big man be here? Quick, run. That's Gabriel Yuri. After knowing it was Yuri, the people all around fled frantically for a while, and the people around had disappeared in a blink of an eye. Yeah, haha. It seems that the captain didn't brag. You are really a big man in Shanghai. You may scare them one by one. Enel said with a smile. Entering New World this time, Yuri also brought Enel out. Although it is said that allowing Enel to practice in the Boeing Islands can improve his strength the fastest. But Yuri thinks it is better to let him get to know New World first, let him exercise in New World, so that he can have a goal and motivation when he cultivates, so he doesn't know that the sky is great. Plus, Gabriel Yuri, at this time Spandam was sitting on the ground in shock, his trouser legs were wet, some inexplicable liquid came out, and his face was full of horror, looking at Yuri Fox. It doesn't seem to be bold, Yuri said disdainfully. My Gabriel dynasty is going to build several sea trains. I wonder if Tom Studio is willing to take this job. Yuri asked Tom. I am now a criminal of the world government. As long as you are not afraid that I will cause you trouble, we are willing to do it. Yuri's defense just now made Tom very fond of Yuri, so he quickly agreed. There are not many people in the world who dare to trouble me, Yuri said with a smile. So the Pluton design is now in Gabriel Yuri's hands? In front of the 5 elders' palace, 5 elders said to Spandane, who was half kneeling across from the palace pool. Yes, that Gabriel Yuri didn't know why he suddenly appeared in the city of 7 waters and spoke for Tom. In the end, Ha took Tom's studio away and faced Gabriel Yuri. We were really. When he asked 5 elders, he said with a sincere expression of fear on his face. Spanda is now extremely afraid that something as important as Pluton's design has fallen into Yuri's hands. Such a big guilt is really over this time. But what he didn't expect was that 5 elders just said indifferently, we know about this, you can go down. Hearing the words of 5 elders, Spandane was shocked and was overjoyed. He thought that this mission failed and 5 elders would never spare him. He didn't expect 5 elders to let it go. Gabriel Yuri is here again. After Spandane retreated, a 5 elders spoke, his tone was very solemn. The sound disappeared for 2 years, suddenly appeared, and happened to appear in the city of Kashui. Is his goal Pluton? Although Pluton is the most vicious warship in history, with Gabriel Yuri's strength, there is no need to use Pluton to add strength. What's more, Tom only has the Pluton design drawing. It is impossible to build a Pluton with that Pluton design drawing. That empire has almost integrated the power of the entire world and won the support of the kingdom of the future. Only then has it created that warlord. In this era, even the world government does not have the strength to build such a super warship, not to mention some key technologies in it. It has long been submerged in the long river of history. Perhaps he thought that with the Pluton design drawings, he could build a real Pluton. Yuri appeared in the city of 7 waters and took away Tom. Before Spandam arrived, 5 elders had received news. They also knew what Spandam did in the City of Seven Waters. They also knew what Spandam did in this matter, so they didn't punish him. They knew that in the face of Yuri, Spandam had no power to resist. What's more, they said that in the face of Gabriel Yuri, even if the mission fails, there will be no punishment. Of course, the most important thing is that they didn't care much about the Pluton design at the beginning. In the eyes of Spandam, the design of ancient weapon Pluton is a great credit, but in the eyes of 5 elders, the design of Pluton is just a tasteless one. Even if the Wu Wang design drawing was obtained by the world government in the end, it was nothing more than shelving it in the end. Even the world government cannot build a super warship like Pluton. Since it can't be built, what can a useless blueprint do? Compared with the Pluton design drawings, they are more concerned about what Yuri does in the City of Seven Waters. Is it really for Pluton? Compared to Pluton, we are more concerned that Gabriel Yuri appears again, a 5 elders said. The 5th Sea Emperor appeared in New World, and it is only natural for Gabriel Yuri to appear. If he does not appear again, others would think he died somewhere in the sea. The 5th Emperor of the Sea. The battle in New World is getting stronger and stronger. Fortunately, the current Marine does not lose to anyone. The so-called Emperor of the Sea is just a group of pirates who are cruel and free. Strength, it already has an empire trend. Once he starts to expand, it will surely sweep the entire New World. A 5 elders said with concern. Even the nations of Big Mom are nothing more than an island occupied by pure pirates, full of the brutality and selfishness of pirates, and cannot be called a country. Even if it is strong, it will only flourish with the strength of BG Mom, and disappear with the fall of Big Mom. Only the Canadian Empire is strong. With the popularization of education, the national strength has become stronger and stronger, and there has been a growing trend of a powerful empire, which makes 5 elders a little worried. Well, it's not that easy for him to monopolize New World. New World is the world of pirates. Gabriel Yuri wants to unify New World not only to face the major kingdoms, world government, marine, and to better face the others of New World. The Emperor of the Sea, Gabriel Yuri is indeed very strong, but if you don't count the anger of the sky, he is equivalent to a 4 emperors. It can be seen from the Battle of Malin Fender, he has promised not to use the sky casually. Angry, the strength may not be much stronger than Kaido and others, more than self-preservation. And now Marine is not a vegetarian. Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru, Green Bull, Fujitora, plus Sengoku Garp, as long as they don't encounter unreasonable moves like Skyrath, Marine has no reason to lose. Although Gabriel Yuri promised not to use Skyrath casually, it is an uncertain thing not to casually, not to mention that the promise of a pirate has no integrity at all. If Gabriel Yuri uses Skyrath, we must also use secret treasures to fight back, and we can't let him go on recklessly. Agree. Agree. When necessary, we need to call Master Yim. At the same time, New World, a pirate ship docked on Solomon Island. There is a dragon head sign on the bow of this pirate ship, and New World pirates know this ship. When it landed, a group of people got off the boat, led by a red-haired one-armed pirate who walked down. This pirate ship is called Red Force, the mount of New World pirate red-haired Shanks. And this red-haired one-armed pirate lost an arm in East Blue and returned to New World to become a stronger red-haired Shanks. After returning to New World, Shanks encountered Kaido. The two fought for a day and night, and the island collapsed. In the end, the two of them won or lost. Then he challenged Whitebeard and Big Mom one after another, and was recognized by everyone, and he was called the 5th Sea Emperor of New World. But if he wants to become a true Emperor of the Sea, he still needs to be recognized by someone. Who? Outside Gabriel, a group of patrolling soldiers stopped Red Hair and the others. Shanks and the others go to the port where usual merchants go, but the port where Big Mom once invaded Solomon Island. Because it was hit by mountains and cracks, it was abandoned after the establishment of Gabriel, and another port was established. At the same time, to commemorate the battle, it is also to show off the strength of the Gabriel pirates. Therefore, there has been no processing here, and people are generally prohibited from logging in here. At the same time, this is also the battlefield of Solomon Island, which is reserved for pirates to land. Usually the pirates invade, and the pirates' internal group battle training is carried out here. Because passing through here is the base camp of the Gabriel pirates. There are a large number of soldiers guarding here, and there are a number of fortifications. The redheads landed swaggering and had no plans to hide their tracks at all, so they were spotted by the soldiers as soon as they were. Sorry, I'm looking for someone, please tell me, little brother. The red hair smiled said. Find someone. Who are you looking for? The soldier asked. Gabriel Yuri, the red hair said. Who is Gabriel Yuri? Since the establishment of the Gabriel dynasty, Yuri has rarely been in charge, only deciding the general direction of the dynasty. And the people of Giadi dynasty I always call Yuri His Majesty the Emperor. In addition, the last 2 years had completely disappeared, and now Shanks said his name. For a while, the soldier didn't know who it was, and only felt familiar. Idiot, it's Your Majesty the Emperor. Fortunately, it's not that everyone doesn't know, otherwise it would be really embarrassing. Your Majesty, bastard, dare to ask us. Everyone in the team drew out their weapons and aimed them at Shanks. Hee. I didn't mean to want you, I really came to Gabriel Yuri, but it seems that you are not going to inform me, then we have to go in and find it ourselves, Shanks said. While speaking, a powerful spirit came out of him. The soldiers in front of him immediately fell to the ground with white eyes. Who are you? The team leader asked before unconscious. People call me red-haired, Shanks said with a smile, and then continued to walk towards Gabriel Palace. As he walked forward, the invisible spirit melted into the surroundings and moved forward slowly. As he advanced, the soldiers who appeared in front of him all lost consciousness one by one and fainted to the ground. No one can maintain consciousness in front of him. There is something going on over there, hurry up and inform the captain. Someone has invaded, everyone pays attention, and someone has invaded. The Gabriel Pirates squad stationed in the fortifications immediately noticed the movement here. That boat, that red hair, there is nothing wrong, it is him, red-haired Shanks. After receiving the report from his subordinates, the captain of the first team, Eden, immediately came out to take a look. When he saw the red-haired pirate ship, Shanks had red hair all over his head, and he immediately recognized that the opponent was the red-haired Shanks who had recently gained fame in New World, a monster who could fight Kaido undefeated day and night. Red-haired Shanks, it turned out to be him. What is he doing here? I heard that he has been challenging the Emperor of the Sea everywhere recently. Is he here to challenge the Emperor? This is the Gabriel dynasty. It's not a place to let him do whatever he wants. Call a member of the team, follow me, and stop him, Eden said. Yes. Also, notify the city to ask for support, this guy may not be able to deal with it alone. Clear. Soon Eden led the first team to block Shanks' path. Ning. There is a big man, Gabriel Pirates 1st Division Captain Budo Master Eden. I saw, Eden appeared, Shanks said with a smile. Hearing Shanks' words, Eden's face sank. That's right. In the past few years, Eden has also become famous in New World. As the captain of the first team of the Gabriel Pirates, after Yuri and Shira left, he assumed the defense of Gabriel City. Although it is said that because of Yuri's deterrence, the Great Pirates Group did not dare to take action against Gabriel City, but some newcomers who entered the New World still have many want to step on the shoulders of the Gabriel Pirates to reach the top. What's more, in the past 2 years, Yuri disappeared, and many people even began to guess that Yuri didn't know where he died. So in fact, the number of pirates who attacked the Canadian Empire did not decrease much. In the past 2 years, he took on the defensive task of Gabriel City, and did not allow an attacking pirate to step into Gabriel City, so the fame of the martial artist Eden has also risen. But no matter how famous Eden is, there is still a huge gap compared with Shanks. So Eden was not too happy to hear what Shanks said. Redhead Shanks, what are you doing here? Eden asked. I'm here to see your Captain Gabriel Yuri. I don't know if you can give me a face and let me pass, the red hair said with a smile. I'm sorry, our captain is not in Gabriel City right now, Eden said. I can wait for him in Gabriel City. I think he will come back to meet me when he hears me coming. The red hair smiled. That's not good. You are a dangerous person. The captain is not here. Can I let a dangerous person like you enter the city of Gabriel? Eden said with a solemn expression. This monster in front of him can fight Kaido day and night. Such a monster will definitely not allow him to enter Gabriel City, otherwise the damage and threat it will cause is unimaginable. In that case, you are going to stop me. Shanks exuded a horrified spirit. A look of horror immediately appeared on Eden's face, and cold sweat spread from his forehead. What a terrifying spirit. This spirit actually feels above the captain. How could it be possible? Eden said secretly in horror. Ah. Betting on the name of the 6 Knights of Steel will never allow any danger to approach Gabriel City, the 6 shouted. The Steel 6 Knights of the first team of the Gabriel Pirates. Let me learn about the strength of the members of the Gabriel Pirates. Shanks drew the Western sword in his hand and said. The Steel 6 Knights are the most outstanding 6 players in the first team. Each of them has outstanding strength. With their outstanding strength, they have completed their upgrades and assessments, and all 6 of them are already members of the inner team. Go on. The 6 knights simultaneously killed Shanks. Quick sword. Shanks' figure flashed, the sword light flashed, and the 6 knights were cut into flight at the same time. Fortunately, Shanks kept his hands, and didn't attack their vitals. Otherwise. How can there be such a fast sword? We broke through our defenses in an instant. The 6 fell down in disbelief. You defeated the 6 knights with one move, Eden said in disbelief. Although the strength of the 6 knights is not very strong, as members who can upgrade from the outer line to the inner line, their strength and combat experience are definitely not weak. But the 6 of them couldn't handle Shanks's trick. Can I get in like this? Shanks said with a smile. You think this is there? This is Gabriel City, as the Gabriel Pirates outside guard team. Even if it is dead, it will never make people break here easily, Eden said. At the same time, the members of the squad behind him also showed extremely firm will. The Gabriel Pirates really deserves its reputation. It seems I can only offend it, Shanks said. Kill. The captain is not here, we will never allow such a dangerous person to enter Gabriel City, Eden ordered. The members of the first team immediately rushed towards Shanks without hesitation. It's a pity that the Shanks they face. I saw Shanks raised his head, his jealous red light flashed, and an incomparable spirit rushed out of his expression. In an instant, everyone except Eden lost consciousness and fell to the ground. Conqueror's spirit is so powerful, Eden said incredulously. You must know that these people are members of his first team, and each of them has undergone the cruel training of New World. But in the face of conquerors of Shanks, all of them were stunned without resistance. Even under this courage, Eden felt fear in his heart. Seeing Shanks walking slowly, Eden didn't resist. How could this world have such a conqueror's spirit? Even the captain, even Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido of the Beasts, their spirit is far inferior to this Shanks. He is like a born emperor, and conquerors alone is enough to make everyone surrender and fear. Shanks walked slowly, and as he got closer, the spirit exuding from his body became stronger and stronger. Looking at Shanks approaching, Eden's forehead kept coming out of cold sweat, his face was pale, his legs trembled, and his eyes were full of horror. It seemed to see a terrifying existence slowly approaching him. Move me. Seeing that Shanks has come to him, but Eden found that his body seems not under his control, and wants to attack Shanks, but his body seems to be in fear. Let him urge him. There was no way to react as he thought. Poor fellow, was stunned by the captain's courage, Lucky Lu said, biting the drumstick in his hand. I can't blame him, the captain's current spirit is simply a foul, even my body is sometimes scared and unable to move, Usopp said. The spirit of Shanks can directly cause fear in the opponent's body muscles. Even if it has a strong will to resist fear, it cannot resist the feeling of fear generated by the muscle itself. Ben Beckman. Unless he can have no fear at all, he will be more or less affected by Shanks' courage, Lucky Lu. At this time Shanks was already standing in front of Eden, ready to pass by Eden. Drink. At this moment, Eden screamed wildly, and his body finally moved. Although his body was still very stiff, he finally attacked Shanks. Ah! Shanks flashed his body and appeared behind Eden, while Eden's eyes were black, and he fell to the ground feebly. The moment Shanks flashed to Eden's back, a hand knife hit Eden on the back of the neck, knocking him out. Did you break free at the last moment? The Gabriel Pirates is really not easy, Shanks said with a smile. I heard that the outside team of the Gabriel Pirates is all people who Gabriel Yuri conquered after coming to New World. Most of them were originally treasure hunters, or people selected by the Garu Kingdom. Originally, most of the men and horses formed the Shira group, the strongest combat force of the Gabriel Pirates, but now they have been taken away by Gabriel Yuri, and I don't know why. Ben Beckman said. Are the Shira people? Interesting. I really want to meet them. I don't know how they compare to the 3 plagues of the beasts, the 4 stars of Big Mom, Shanks said with interest. Who knows, but I think we will see it soon, Ben Beckman said. Indeed, after all, I'm here, some people will always meet, Shanks said with a smile. After speaking, he took everyone to the Gabriel Palace. Report. Red Hair Pirates has broken through the first line of defense, Captain Eden is defeated and lost. Red Hair Pirates is heading towards the second line of defense. His spirit is so powerful that almost no one can maintain consciousness in front of him. Red Hair Pirates broke through the second line of defense and is approaching the third line of defense. It's too powerful, no one can stop him. In the Gabriel Palace, the phone worm on the table kept coming to the outside of the battle. Robin, my lord, this can't work. The gap between the members of the team and Shanks is too big, and there is no way to stop him, Zala said to Robin. Red Hair can fight Kaido undefeated all day and night, which means he has a 4 Emperors level battle. Monsters can only be defeated by monsters. I have already notified Yuri, but it should take some time for Yuri to come over. It has been blocking for a while. Robin stood up and said. Report, Lord Robin, there is a situation. Just when it was qualified, a voice came from the phone worm. What happened? Master Robin, A lightning bolt hit the red hair just now. Someone blocked the red hair. It is a Logia devil fruit ability person. A surprised voice said from the phone. Raiden? Logia devil fruit capable person? Robin looked suspicious. Time back to 1 minute ago, under Shank's conquerors, red hair pirates broke through the Gabriel pirates one line after another. Seeing that the distance to the imperial palace of Emperor Giotti was getting closer and closer, Shanks suddenly stopped. The moment he stopped, there was a thunderbolt in the sky, and a pillar of thunder fell instantly towards Shanks and the others. This lightning beam is extremely fast, like light entering electricity, it shoots in front of Shanks in an instant. But Shanks didn't panic at all, and slashed out at the thunder and lightning. This sword slashed out, and immediately saw a slash tear open the thunder and lightning. Ahahaha. Are you the monster? The captain said. You can cut my thunder and lightning with a sword, and you did a good job. At this moment, a thunder and lightning flashed by, and a person appeared in front of Shanks and said. Well, Logia, thunder fruit capable person. Captain. A member of the Gabriel pirates? Is Gabriel Yuri coming? Shanks said, slightly surprised. Ahaha, it seems to be right, Thunder Dragon. It was Enel who came here. After leaving the city of Seven Waters, Yuri and the others came directly to Saboti Archipelago with a permanent pointing needle, and then Yuri directly controlled the ship and flew over the red line into the new world. At this time, Yuri received from Robin's phone worm and knew that Shanks had come to Gabriel City. And there has been a battle with their pirate group, and the situation is very urgent. So Yuri left Bonus and the others and returned to Solomon Island first. And Enel followed Yuri back to Solomon Island with the power of thunder and lightning. Ahaha, Captain, are these people the ones who are causing you trouble? Before reaching Solomon Island, Enel used his observation haki to perceive the situation on the island. Hehe, this is a monster, Yuri said with a smile. The monster, interesting, God's sanction. Enel directly hit Shanks and the others. Brontosaurus. The vast thunder and lightning turned into a thunder and lightning dragon, violently killing Shanks. On the Boeing Islands, Enel ate food training on the Boeing Islands every day, and then fought fiercely with Bonus and others. Compensated by such fierce fighting, training, and rich nutritious food, Enel's strength has more than doubled in a short period of time. In the original book, Enel never encountered an opponent who could hurt him. With Thunder Fruit's ability, he can easily crush all opponents. But now, whether it is Yuri or Bonus, he can only be crushed. Under this pressure, with a lot of nutritional supplements, Enel has quickly improved its strength, and its control and development of Devil Fruit has also taken a step further. In the past, Enel used Thunder Fruit, relying on the speed and power of Thunder Fruit. Because in the past, in the original book, with the speed and power of Thunder Fruit, Enel was enough to crush any opponent. But now he knew that he could no longer defeat his opponents with pure speed and strength alone. So I had to improve the control of thunder and lightning. In the past, whether it was a Thunder Beast of 30 million volts, a Thunderbird, or a Thunder Dragon of 60 million volts, it seemed to have various forms. But in fact, it is essentially the same as shooting a lightning bolt, but it only changes the shape of the lightning, and there is no difference in its essence. But with the improvement of power control, this Thunder Dragon seems to come alive. At the terrifying speed, he also brought incomparable power and agility to kill Shanks. Even Shanks can hardly avoid such an attack, but since it's not easy to evade, just get rid of it. Shanks slashed out again, and the blade exuded a terrifying edge. This huge Thunder Dragon was forcibly cut in half. But the Thunder Dragon that had been cut on both sides turned into 2 Thunder Dragons to kill Shanks. Logia Thunder Fruit? When did the Gabriel Pirates have a Thunder Fruit ability? I haven't seen this person again. He should be a new member of the Gabriel Pirates, but he seems to have a good grasp of Devil Fruit. Hehe. Gabriel Yuri really has a soft spot for Demon Fruit power. I heard that almost all his original members are Demon Fruit power. Gabriel Yuri has become famous by virtue of Devil Fruit's ability. For the development and understanding of Devil Fruit, no one in the entire sea can compare with him. Enel's Thunder Fruit ability surprised everyone at Red Hair Pirates. Ah. Yeah haha, is this the monster? The captain said. It does have some skill, but just like this, it can't be called a monster, Enel said mockingly. Haha, the captain is being despised, captain underestimated. Captain, you don't think he's lost? You can challenge someone else's captain. If there is not even one member of the crew, let's go back to sleep. Captain, do you want us to take this kid down for you? The people of Red Hair Pirates also laughed. No, this is my battlefield, Shanks said with a smile. Thunder Fruit, it's really a good ability. If you develop it well, an admiral-level combat power is appropriate. Gabriel Yuri has really found a good partner. Let me take a look. You developed this Devil Fruit. To what extent? Shanks said with a smile. Quick sword. Shanks flashed and appeared behind Enel in an instant. It's a fast sword, even faster than Ashby's Dragontooth flash, Enel said in surprise. Shanks' speed sword is indeed amazingly fast, but Enel is not what it used to be. The powerful reaction obtained under various exercises of bonus and others. Coupled with his heart network with predictive ability, his body slightly yielded at the moment of crisis, and he escaped Shanks' speedy sword. Even so? Shanks said, slightly surprised. Is this feeling like seeing and hearing? Moreover, it is a pre-judgment ability. It seems that the Gabriel Pirates are going to have another monster. Everyone at Red Hair Pirates was also surprised. It seems that what the captain said is right. You are indeed a dangerous guy, Enel said. While speaking, the two Thunder Dragons quickly slew towards Shanks again. Kamui sword. Seeing the two Thunder Dragons instantly slam in front of him, Shanks smiled faintly and raised his sword. Shanks raised this sword, and Enel's face changed drastically. Danger, danger, danger. Observation Hockey kept reminding him. Shanks's sword was very slow, slower than ordinary people, as if he was slowly passing the sword. But this sword carries incredible power. This sword cut out the world and changed its color, and the sword hadn't touched the Thunder Dragon, and the two Thunder Dragons had been shattered by an invisible force. The sword continued to be handed to Enel. Enel's face continued to change drastically. He looked at this sword in horror. He felt that the sword had a terrifying spirit. He wanted to escape. He wanted to avoid this sword. But he found that his body did not respond. The thunder and lightning, which was usually controlled by his mind, had no response at all now. At this time Shanks' sword was handed to him, and the breath of death spread over him, but Enel could not move at all. Are you going to die? Is this the monster the captain said? This new world has such a terrifying monster powerhouse. It seems that new world is more interesting than I thought. Unfortunately, if I can be stronger, maybe I will be able to meet more powerful people. Enel felt the sensation of death, and various thoughts emerged between life and death. At this moment, Shanks' sword stopped. It was blocked by a diamond-shaped crystal shield. You don't need to be so serious about my newcomer in the pirate group. Do you want to engage in our seedlings? At this time, a familiar voice sounded. Enel looked at it and saw that Yuri didn't know when to appear next to him. It's Gabriel Yuri. Has it appeared? New world, even the biggest horror in the entire world. Is that Gabriel Yuri's devil fruit ability? Still as good as always, it easily blocked Shanks' Kamui sword. Although Shanks did not use his full strength, but the other party also did not show any real skills. Even Devil Fruit was able to receive the attack from the Shanks' Kamui sword without awakening Devil Fruit. It seems that Gabriel Yuri's strength has become stronger in the past 2 years. Up. Is it stronger again? What a monster. Seeing Yuri's appearance and blocking Shanks' sword, everyone at Red Hair Pirates said in surprise. Have you finally taken it? Gabriel Yuri, I thought you would have to wait, Shanks said with a smile. If you wait any longer, he will be useless, Yuri said lightly. Shanks' sword is terrifying. This sword is not too powerful. There is no terrifying armament hockey. But Conqueror's hockey of ultimate is condensed on this sword. I have to say that Shanks' Conqueror's is super terrifying. He condenses the terrifying Conquerors on this sword, forming a terrifying power, like a sword intent. It seems that the power of this sword is not very strong, but it contains an incredible power. However, the strongest of this sword is not his power and incredible power. The most important thing is that with this sword, Shanks' Conqueror's spirit is like an invisible armament hockey, which can penetrate into the target silently. Your body has an impact on your body. If this sword is allowed to hit Enel, although Enel may not die, it will allow Enel to live in the fear of this sword from now on. In the future, unless Enel can break through this fear, there will be no way to improve. Perhaps he can bear it, Shanks said with a smile. In addition to being dangerous, this sword also has great benefits. If Enel can overcome this fear, there will be a great breakthrough in strength. I brought him to New World, just to show him to the world, but I didn't plan to pull the seedlings and encourage him. It's too early for him, Yuri said with a smile. How come New World can't see the unique storms of New World? Shanks said. Shanks' palm became heavier while speaking, and armament hockey also wrapped his long sword. The colorless armament hockey turned into a terrifying edge to radiate from his sword, and the shield of size in front of the sword appeared cracked inch by inch. Okay. Yuri took back the sentence that the sword was not very powerful just now. Armament hockey and Conqueror's hockey merge, which makes the sword exude terrifying power. With Yuri's hand, a large amount of iron sand flew from the ground, and in a blink of an eye it would turn into a sword of iron sand in his hand. Holding this sword of iron sand, it slashed out, and hit the sword slashed by Shanks. Boom. The ground where the two were standing cracked in an inch by inch. the ground was sunken in, and the horrible energy radiated out in all directions. Enel is not far from Yuri. The moment the sword hits each other, Enel feels like the sky and the earth are breaking. At the same time, the terrifying energy made his body fly upside down involuntarily. Waiting for Enel to stand firmly, and then looking in the direction where the two were fighting, Enel once again showed a look of astonishment. I saw that the place where the two people fought has completely changed, and the flat land has become a canyon. Because of the battle between the two, the mountains and rivers shifted. Changed the entire geographical environment in a blink of an eye. These two people are terrifying. Fighting, this situation is more terrifying than when fighting Kaido. Isn't it that Gabriel Yuri only has his devil fruit ability super terrifying, other abilities are just average? But the sharpness, power, speed, and armament hockey of this sword, can this be considered average? That's right, he didn't use the devil fruit ability much with this sword just now, and he was able to block Shanks from blending into the Kamui sword that armament hockey used with all his strength. Everyone at Red Hair Pirates was shocked. They clearly know how terrifying the Kamui sword integrated into the powerful armament hockey of Shanks is. If Yuri uses the devil fruit ability to take this move, they will not be surprised, but Yuri only uses swordsmanship to take it. Pure swordsmanship. In addition to controlling the iron sand to form the sword of iron sand, this sword is indeed pure swordsmanship. Well, of course, I said how clever a sword is, but in fact it is not. However, the power contained in this sword and armament hockey is not weaker than Shanks at all, and it even completely overwhelms Shanks in power. How can this be? Isn't it said that Gabriel Yuri's physical strength is the weakest among 4 emperors? Is this power catching up with Kaido? Isn't it said that the strength of 4 emperors Gabriel Yuri is all in devil fruit? But what is the matter with this armament hockey? The top colorless armament hockey, and the degree of vigor is not weaker than Shanks. It seems that in the past 2 years, Gabriel Yuri has made up for his shortcomings, and now Gabriel Yuri is invincible. Beckman said with an extremely solemn expression. Hearing Beckman's words, the rest of Red Hair Pirates' mouths grew up in surprise. Block. The two figures flashed like ghosts, and during the confrontation, the sound of sword blade clashing continued. With every impact, the ground is deformed, and the entire Solomon Island is shaking. The entire Solomon Island people felt a strong shock, and showed panic expressions one by one. What's the situation? Have there been an earthquake? Unlike, it seems to be coming from over there. There is Gabriel's battlefield. I just heard that Red Hair Pirates came to Solomon Island. Is it at war with Red Hair Pirates? Red-haired Shanks, the 5th Sea Emperor who has just risen in New World. Then who is fighting the red-haired Shanks? Is it a fox? The people said in shock. Ship, Captain, the captain is back. At this time Robin and the others also rushed towards the battlefield. At this time, they heard a report from their subordinates on the phone. Hearing the report, Robin didn't breathe a sigh of relief, but his expression became extremely solemn. Immediately, arrange for someone to transport and evacuate all those who have passed out in a coma, and everyone will evacuate from that battlefield, which will become a battlefield for monsters, Robin said solemnly. Very purple and red, big shift. Suddenly a voice sounded, and everyone at Red Hair Pirates looked towards this voice. I saw a beautiful and sexy beauty appear, and at the same time countless palms grew from the ground, moving away the people who were stunned because of Shank's spirit on the surrounding battlefield. That's Nico Robin from the Gabriel Pirates. Her abilities are very interesting. She actually grows arms out of thin air on the ground. The most important thing is that it's not easy to grow so many all at once. I heard that the reason why the Gabriel dynasty is so stable is that in addition to Gabriel Yuri's deterrence, Nico Robin also has this great credit. But speaking, this ability is really spectacular. The scene where Senju's arm rises from the ground is very spectacular, and everyone at Red Hair Pirates is also very surprised to see this scene. Quickly, evacuate everyone. Zala commanded from the side. A large number of troops appeared and evacuated with unconscious people, although all the people from all defense lines retreated. Sorry for keeping you waiting for me for so long. Seeing that everyone on the ground had evacuated, Yuli said with a smile. It should be, after all, the guest does whatever the host wants. It doesn't matter if you wait a while. Shanks. It's almost time to warm up, and it's time for the real thing. For whatever reason, I won't be merciful to anyone who attacks the Gabriel dynasty. Yuri. While speaking, he loosened the human hand, and the sword of iron sand in his hand turned into ordinary iron sand and fell to the ground. Hearing what Yuri's Shanks said, Enel's face showed a look of horror. Was the previous battle just a warm-up, just about to learn the true strength of Magneto? Shanks made a move to prepare for the sword. Fast speed sword. The ground Shanks was standing on was completely shattered in the next moment, and a sword pierced out at the same time. Quite soon, is this the real speed sword? Enel was shocked. This sword was too fast. Shanks pierced out with a single sword, and the whole Unity sword turned into a light piercing, and it pierced Yuri's face in an instant. The speed of this sword, even Enel's observation hockey, did not fully perceive it. At the moment of the stabbing, it completely disappeared from Enel's perception. When Shanks' trail was sensed, Shanks's sword had already stabbed in front of Yuri. And the reason Shanks was felt was because Shanks stopped. Shanks' sword stopped 10 centimeters in front of Yuri. As Peluzolino said, speed is power. The speed of this sword's instant burst is extremely terrifying. If the speed is higher in the world, perhaps only Kizaru's flash can match it. The terrifying speed brings terrifying power to this sword. Plus the horror armament hockey condensed on a sword. Let this sword have incredible power and unparalleled piercing power. There are absolutely not many people who can block this sword in this sea. But when the sword stabbed 10 centimeters in front of Yuri, there was no way to advance half a minute. The next moment, Shanks was impacted by a powerful repulsive force and flew upside down. It didn't stop until tens of meters later. After stopping, Shanks looked at Yuri in amazement. Is this repulsion? It's a magical ability, Shanks said. It's an amazing sword. It almost broke my Shenluo Tianzheng, absolute realm, Yuri said. Shanks's sword just now has unparalleled piercing power. If it were 2 years ago, just by relying on the normal state of the Shenrai Heaven sign, this sword could definitely pierce the Shenrai Heaven sign. However, if 2 years ago, facing Shanks with such strength, Yuri would not face the enemy in a normal state. Even now, 2 years later, under normal conditions, his Shenluo Tianzheng was almost pierced. Fortunately, in the past 2 years, Yuri has been optimized by Shenra Tianzheng. Shenluo Tianzheng, absolute realm. Shenluo Tianzheng is a radioactive repulsive wave that bursts out instantly. And Shenluo Tianzheng, the absolute domain, is a repulsive force domain woven by layers of intersecting repulsive force fields. Just like Yuri's name, this is an absolute field. Even if Yuri wants to come to the CPU with piercing fruit, it is difficult to pierce the absolute field of so many layers of repulsion field at one time. However, there is a time limit for one move, and it only exists for 5 seconds at a time. The absolute domain will disappear after 5 seconds, but Yuri's defense is absolutely unbreakable in these 5 seconds. You stabbed me with a sword, then take me a knife, Yuri said lightly. A small flying knife appeared in his hand. Shanks' eyes narrowed as soon as the little flying knife appeared. Through the live broadcast of Marin Fender's battle, the power of Yuri's repulsive knife has been well known to the world. Mihawk, the world's first swordsman, was pierced by this knife. No one understands the strength of Mihawk better than Shanks. The appearance of this flying knife Shanks immediately concentrated on nerves. When everyone at Red Hair Pirates saw the throwing knife in Yuri's hand, they all swallowed. Yuri's throwing knife is called Shinigami Invitation. Only Enel looked at everyone strangely. After Yuri took out the throwing knife, the atmosphere of everyone present clearly solidified. But in Enel's eyes, the throwing knife in Yuri's hand is just an ordinary knife. Is it necessary to be so nervous? Does this flying knife have any secrets he doesn't know? But the next throwing knife in Yuri's hand disappeared in Enel's perception. Boom. While Enel was still surprised how this flying knife suddenly disappeared from his perception. Shanks' sword slashed out and hit the throwing knife that suddenly appeared in front of him. To be precise, Shanks' sword and throwing knife did not really collide with each other. The sword and the flying knife each impacted a terrifying edge, and the two terrifying invisible edges violently collided in the air, arousing a wave of ultimate energy and shaking the entire atmosphere. The entire atmosphere was shaken by the impact of two forces. The force of horror constantly impacted from the place of impact and lifted everything around. Yuri's flying knife is very fast, compressing the huge repulsive force on the flying knife. This repulsive force can repel a small passage in space, allowing the flying knife to reach the target position instantly like a shuttle through space. If you see this throwing knife for the first time, no matter who it is, unless you have an observation hockey like Katakuri, it is absolutely no one can escape it. But Shanks saw this knife on the video. When I came to challenge Yuri this time, I naturally thought of how to deal with this trick, otherwise he would not come. Although this knife broke through the air and came out mysteriously, even Shanks could hardly perceive how it came. However, Shanks can perceive the changes in the surrounding space, thereby predicting the direction of the flying knife, and cutting off the knife. And Shanks's move to intercept this flying knife is not simple. Kamui sword, it is also a Kamui sword, and the Kamui sword that was made earlier is a sword of a different dimension. Kamui Shanks integrated Conqueror's haki into the sword, forming a very deterrent. But if it is just Conquerors, this trick is more than deterrent, but not powerful enough. But if you join Armament Haki, you can make up for the shortcomings of this trick. And now Shanks has joined Armament Haki and integrated Conqueror's haki into Armament Haki, forming an extremely special force. Armament Haki integrated into Conqueror's spirit. Armament Haki seems to be alive, with a unique will, and its power instantly increases more than one level. It was this Armament Haki with will that blocked the repulsive force on the flying knife. After all, the repulsive force on the flying knife was rootless. Although it was strong, it quickly disappeared and was slashed by Shanks. Enel looked at the two people in a cold sweat. Although the two of them just made a single sword, Enel understands that these two were completely different dimensional existences from himself. As the two said, the battle just now was just a warm-up. Once he got serious, he couldn't even see their attacks clearly. I wanted to challenge Shanks just now. I was so arrogant. If Shanks used such power just now, he might be defeated in an instant. Yeah, haha. Are the monsters in New World as strong as this? It seems that I still have a long way to go, Enel said. Just a sword and a knife made Enel feel the gap between himself and Yuri Shanks. If ordinary people see it, they will only feel desperate. However, Enel is confident that he can catch up. In addition to his Thunder Fruit, it is also because of the help of Bowing Islands that he has so much confidence. Yeah. A throwing knife appeared on Yuri's hands at the same time. The next moment the amphibious flying knife disappeared one after another. Pin. Shanks slashed out two swords, using ingenious armament haki and swordsmanship, to pick up the two throwing knives. In the next moment, Shanks stepped forward and instantly appeared in front of Yuri, a sword towards Yuri's newcomer. Shinra Tianzhong, the sky collapses. Yuri punched out. Boom, the two ultimate forces collided together, and instantly everything around was destroyed, and terrifying forces shot out in all directions. Rewind quickly. It's terrifying, just Aftermath has such a terrifying destructive power. Such a battle, even if the Aftermath is involved, it will be deadly. Seeing the aftermath of this battle, everyone in the Red Hair Pirates group quickly retreated. Boom, two figures flashed quickly and collided in the battlefield. Every collision caused a shocking energy collision. Where they fight, the terrain is constantly changing. A gorge, after a while the canyon was destroyed and turned into flat ground. In a blink of an eye the flat ground was beaten into a canyon again. Is this the monster's true strength? Enel also avoided from a distance, looking at the battlefield with shocked face and said. He felt that he wanted to catch up with Yuri and Shanks' road, as if it was a little bit longer than he thought. Kamui is like prison. At this moment, Shanks shouted. The terrifying spirit came out from Shanks's look. Huh? At this moment, even Yuri showed a slightly surprised look. I saw Shanks's courage blended into the surrounding space. With the integration of the horror spirit, the entire space seems to be alive in an instant. Yuri felt that the whole world was not friendly to him anymore, the whole world was suppressing him, and terrible pressure kept pressing Yuri from all directions. The surrounding space is like a cage, as if there are countless shackles on his body, making Yuri feel very difficult to move. Overlord color can be applied to this degree, not only affects reality, but also blends into space, forming a special field. Is this the power of Conqueror's ultimate? Yuri said in surprise. This is a terrible situation. Those who practice swordsmanship can practice swordsmanship when they reach ultimate, and using swordsmanship can greatly increase the power of swordsmanship. And now Shanks is showing something similar to swordsmanship. But the difference is that his is more advanced. He integrated Conqueror's haki into the world of Joe, and transformed the world with Conqueror's courage. It's like using the power of heaven and earth for your own use, so as to enhance your courage and increase your attack. It also uses the power of heaven and earth to form a domain, a cage. This field not only has the power of imprisonment, but also takes advantage of the potential to continuously invade Conqueror's spirit into the human body in the field. God's arms, sword of punishment. Shanks' expression continued to improve, as if the aura of the whole world had gathered on him, and then gathered on his sword. Finally, the aura on his sword became extremely terrifying. Haha, it's really eye-opening. Conqueror's haki can do such a thing. If that happens, I have to do my best. Yuri said. Yuri understands that Shanks' sword will be shocked in the next moment. Facing such an attack, Yuri didn't dare to be careless. The next moment, his devil fruit awakened.